Yes, my people, my people, my people, my beautiful people, stay away from evil. Yeah. I want to say all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And, and as I tell you, Islam is nothing but pure nonsense. So today we are going to be looking at something from the three Muslims, and we're looking at their argument against the young brother, young Don. And one of their argument, they used some guy called Hamza to refute what the young Christian brother say, but you will see how this guy Hamza falls short, even though the Muslim will glorify him and think that he did a great job. And then we are going to look at Uthman, Footnote, lying Farooq. I know that Chris Claus had done, sorry, had done a video on this, I think last night, and I was watching it last night. But it is good when a lot of platform expose a clown like Uthman ibn Farooq. So we are going to get into it in just a few minutes. So before we get into it, I just want to share something with you to show you who we are really dealing with when we are dealing with Uthman ibn Farooq. I always like to do this to show who we are dealing with, the kind of mindset that you're dealing with when you're dealing with a person like Uthman ibn Farooq. So the first video I will share is a video of Uthman, and just to show you the kind of mindset of this guy that we are dealing with. What kind of person is Uthman ibn Farooq? This is what we're going to show. First, this is what we're going to show. How are you, Don? How are you going? How are you doing, man? So the first video we're going to show is, who is this guy called Uthman? Can you take him serious? So let's get into it.
Uthman ibn Farooq of the One Message Foundation has been a naughty, naughty boy. There are certain people who will say absolutely anything in the heat of the moment to escape criticism, even if their words will come back to haunt them just 3 days later. If you encounter some of these people, all you need to do is innocently raise objection after objection, and they will literally bury themselves in deception. Take our favorite sheikh, Sheikh-ul-Islam Uthman ibn Farooq. For the past few months, a tweet has been circulating. In this tweet, Sheikh Uthman declares that all non-Muslims should be forced to pay jizya, and that any non-Muslims who refuse to pay will be fought and their women and children will be enslaved. That tweet and the tweets from Sheikh Uthman that led up to it have been deleted. But we can piece together the conversation from some replies and from what Sheikh Uthman said later. A Muslim named Mansour accused Sheikh Uthman of rejecting offensive jihad and of only believing in defensive jihad. So he accused Sheikh Uthman of believing that jihad is only for the self-defense of the Muslim community, not for conquering and subjugating the rest of the world. This tweet has been deleted. You'll see why shortly. Sheikh Uthman posted some sort of response, now deleted, saying that Mansour is wrong and that he does indeed believe in offensive jihad. But he wasn't very clear on what that includes. So Mansour replied, "Quit with the emotional crap. Maybe you should have thought before spewing lies. You can easily say, I affirm that Islam calls for the conquest and subjugation of all non-Muslims, regardless of whether they fight us. It's not that hard. Bet you won't though." In another deleted tweet, Sheikh Uthman must have said that he does affirm this because Mansour asks him to make that affirmation even more explicit. Mansour says, "So, to be absolutely clear, you agree that jizya should be imposed on all disbelievers, and if they refuse, they should be fought and their women and children enslaved? Once again, Sheikh Uthman's tweet has been deleted, but here we have a screenshot of what he said. In response to the question, do you agree that jizya should be imposed on all disbelievers, and if they refuse, they should be fought and their women and children enslaved, Sheikh ul-Islam declares, of course, and I have already made all of this clear in my durus, but you never reached out to ask me. So, of course I believe this, but instead of reaching out to me, you falsely accused me of not believing it. Mansour is satisfied with this response, so he says, thank you, I'll delete the initial tweet. So Mansour deleted his tweet claiming that Sheikh Uthman rejected offensive jihad. Sheikh Uthman then tells Mansour to send him a private message. That tweet is still available. Sheikh Uthman has updated his picture. Now, people started sharing a screenshot of Sheikh Uthman's tweet about enslaving non-Muslim women and children. I didn't share it because I've been going out to California about once per month, and I thought it would be better to ask him about it. I know that people can Photoshop a screenshot of a tweet, accounts can be hacked, words can be taken out of context. I don't want to accuse Sheikh Uthman of saying something that he didn't really say, so I asked him about the tweet. And he had an explanation.
First thing, there's been a clarification posted on Twitter. I had given up all my social media, right, which I did not respond to that personally.
You're not on social media?
I am not on social media. Even the Twitter post that you're looking at, if you go to the actual Twitter page, there's a post on there that clarifies that I am not the one who runs the Twitter page, right? I created that Twitter page originally as Abu Kutub just to explain books. When the traffic picked up so much that I couldn't keep up, I gave it up, right? And there was a post posted on Twitter to clarify. Okay? So that tweet was not from me personally. It was from my Twitter account, right? And there were other things done on that Twitter account, like some tweets which I did not agree with, and we made that clarification on Twitter, right? So we clear about that.
So Sheikh Uthman took the timeless advice of Shaggy and said, with a straight face,
Wasn't me.
Now, this wasn't entirely convincing. After all, the tweets certainly claimed to be from Sheikh Uthman. Notice, I have already made all of this clear in my durus, but you never reached out to ask me, send me a private message. These tweets claim to be from Sheikh Uthman himself. So if they're actually from a volunteer who runs his social media, this is really messed up, especially if the volunteer is promoting views that Sheikh Uthman does not agree with. So Sheikh Uthman's response to me was a bit suspicious, but I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. After all, it's possible that some volunteer was behind all of this. I know that Sheikh Uthman and his followers always assume the worst about people like me, but I don't want to assume the worst about them. However, I did want to ask why he would have someone like that running his social media.
Wait a second. So, someone who works for you and controlled this Twitter
Does not
account
work for me. Somebody who volunteered to take care of the Twitter account made that post, and as I disapproved of it, he deleted it.
Wasn't me.
And just to be as clear as possible, I had Sheikh Uthman publicly proclaim that he doesn't believe that all non-Muslims should be forced to pay jizya or that their wives and children should be enslaved.
So, just to be clear, you do not believe that jizya should be imposed on all disbelievers, and if they refuse, they should be fought and their women and children enslaved?
No.
Wasn't me.
See that? Sheikh Uthman had a problem. People were falsely accusing him of tweeting a tweet that he never tweeted. Problem solver. When you're in trouble, you call DW. I tried to help him. You would think that his followers would appreciate and respect my efforts to help him clear this up. Instead, they responded with more insults and abuse. But I can't control them. I can only control myself. The day after I posted my video supposedly exonerating Sheikh Uthman, I went to Mansour's Twitter page to make sure that he had received the correction and to see if he was willing to admit his mistake. Instead, I found that Mansour was calling Sheikh Uthman a liar. Mansour had already called Sheikh Uthman a liar in the past, claiming that the good Sheikh says one thing to Muslims, but something completely different to non-Muslims. Uthman Farooq is actually a pathological liar. When with Christians, he'll deny things like offensive jihad and slavery, but when with Muslims, he'll affirm it. Him and David Wood are both vile. That was an old tweet. After seeing my video, he said, "It appears that Uthman Farooq has yet again shown himself as dishonest. In the following video," that's a link to my video with Sheikh Uthman, "he denies even making the tweet. Yet in the quoted tweet, you can see him affirming he made the tweet. Also, I'm not an atheist, Uthman." To prove that Sheikh Uthman is lying, Mansour shares a clip from a live stream where Sheikh Uthman admits repeatedly that he was the one who posted the tweet. I wanted to watch the original live stream video to make sure that nothing was deceptively edited. In the original video, the Muslim panel takes a question from a caller. The caller asks Sheikh Uthman about his tweet calling for jizya to be imposed on all non-Muslims and for the enslavement of women and children.
Hello.
Hello, I wanted to ask Uthman something.
Oh,
Hey, you
how
Muslim?
you doing?
So I saw Uthman's comment regarding the jizya on Twitter with this guy, and you mentioned that the people, if they do, he asked you a question, if the people do not pay the jizya, they should be enslaved. And you replied, you teach these sort of stuff in your lessons.
This would obviously be the perfect time for Sheikh Uthman to explain.
Not to cut David, but do you notice when the guy asked the question, do you see what Uthman did? Uthman moved his head from side to side. You know, when you are getting ready to lift something, like you're getting ready to do something in your home, cleaning up something, lift up some bags from the garage, do some things, then guess what? You do this thing where you move your neck muscle, you work your shoulder. But why do you think that he did that move when he was ready to talk to the guy, to answer the guy question? Because this is classical sign, and if you're a detective, you watch for those signs in a person. You always look out for those signs in a person. You could tell when a person is lying by their body language. He actually cracked his neck before he answered the guy. And this is a classical sign that he's preparing to do something that he doesn't want to do, or he's preparing to lie, to be deceptive.
That he's not on social media and that it was a volunteer who posted that tweet. Go ahead and explain that for us, Sheikh.
So what happened is some dude on Twitter, some troll, I don't know who he is, but made a bunch of comments saying that I don't believe in jihad al-talab, and I've denied that there is jihad al-talab and this kind of things. And what I said is that I have clarified these views and what I believe in the durus.
Wait, who said that?
And what I said is...
Who?
And what I said is...
A volunteer said it?
What I said.
That's strange. In this live stream, Sheikh Uthman says that he was the one responding to Mansour. But when I asked him about it, he said that he's not on social media and that a mysterious volunteer was responding to Mansour.
I had given up all my social media, right, which I did not respond to that personally.
Wasn't me.
So that tweet was not from me personally.
Wasn't me.
Somebody who volunteered to take care of the Twitter account made that post.
Wasn't me.
Apparently, Sheikh Uthman is his own volunteer. But please, keep explaining what happened, Sheikh Uthman.
People have misconstrued that by cutting off the top part of the commentary to say that I believe in things that wouldn't be necessarily what I do believe in. What I believe in is clear. I believe in the Quran and Hadith and Bab al-Jihad, including Jihad al-Difa', which is defensive jihad, and Jihad al-Talab, and how the rules and regulations of those work. We have durus, and we're going to have in Zad al-Mustaqni', and which is what I said in the part of the comments that people cut off as well.
Wait, who was posting the comments for Sheikh Uthman?
and which is what I said in the part of the comments that people cut off as well.
Who?
And which is what I said.
A volunteer?
And which is what I said.
Can someone please help the sheikh here?
That if you want to know the details of how that works, watch the lessons. They're online. Everybody can watch them, and you will understand.
See, Sheikh Uthman, one of the problems is all you said was, I teach this in my classes, and they think that you teach specific views and you omit others.
Wow.
And do you notice who is helping Sheikh Uthman? Ijaz Ahmed, the doctor, is helping Sheikh Uthman from one dirty-minded person to another dirty-minded person. So what you can see here, that Uthman is not a person you can trust. Uthman lied to his fellow Muslim. Mansour is a Muslim. Asking Uthman question. Uthman lying to Mansour. Uthman lying to David Wood. Uthman lying publicly on camera. So you cannot trust an idiot like Uthman ibn Farooq, because that's what he is. He's a liar, a deceiver. That's exactly what this guy is. We've seen it. We have seen throughout the years what Uthman is. So these three guys, the three Muslims, I would call them the three stooges, decided that Uthman is the best person to debunk what Young Don said. So Young Don have a video where he is showing that according to his understanding, which is also my understanding, that Muhammad is a pedophile. Muhammad molested a 9-year-old child. So Young Don is giving his opinion and his platform about Muhammad's activity, and that Muhammad could never be no one's role model, you know, and Muhammad is not a prophet. But the funny thing about it is this. In Surah 33, verse 21, it says Muhammad is a perfect example to follow. So if a Muslim follow Muhammad and have sex with a 9-year-old child, they are actually in line with Islam, because that's what Muhammad did. You know, I remember Yashir Qadi, it got so bad that Yashir Qadi decided to make a video where he says, in those days, children mature faster. So in the days of Aisha and Muhammad, children mature faster. But we see otherwise, because according to the Hadith, Aisha was playing with his dolls. Aisha was playing with his dolls. According to the Hadith, one person says that Aisha was premature. One Hadith says the only thing that he found with Aisha is that Aisha is premature. Her mind was not developed. She did not have the mind of someone you should be having sex with. No grown man should be having sex with a 9-year-old child. No grown man at all. So was it yesterday or this morning? Oh, this morning, early this morning, a Muslim wrote in a comment, he says, my grandfather married to my grandmother when he was 12 years old, and she was 11. But he did not say that they consummate the marriage, as Muhammad consummate the marriage, which means that he had sex with Aisha when she was 9. So I asked him the question, did your 12-year-old grandfather have sex with your 11-year-old grandmother at that time? He did not respond. I don't see a response from him. But he's saying that his grandfather married to his grandmother when he was 12 years old and she was 11 years old. I could see people getting married at 12 and 11, but what do? They wait until, because some customers are like that, but they wait until they reach adulthood. Then that's when they cohabitate and they consummate their marriage. So getting married is not the problem. Getting married at age 12 and 11 is not the problem. you stay in your mother's house. You stay in your father and your mother's house until the day when you are adult enough to take the responsibility of a marriage on yourself. Then you get out of that house, and that's when you live as man and wife. So the Muslim believe that getting married is the problem. Muhammad getting married to Aisha when she was 6 years old is not really the main problem. Even though you should not look at a 6-year-old and thinking that you should marry to a 6-year-old. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is him having sex with her when she was 9 years old. There is immorality in you looking at a 6-year-old and think that a 6-year-old should be your wife. But there is also, the biggest immorality is the fact that you have sex with a 9-year-old. That's the thing. But anyway, so we see the deception of Uthman there. We don't need to go further to see the deception. He admits that he's a deceiver. But he's the one that they decided to use to counteract the young brother, young Don. Yes, that's the lying Muslim from California. The California movie star. So let's look at the video of young Don and see what's going on here. So here we have the young brother, young Don, and you will see the brother make his statement.
The devil made a religion. It's called Islam. I didn't know that the Prophet Muhammad, the person who invented the religion, raped a 9-year-old girl.
And do you notice what the brother said? The devil make a religion called Islam. And Muhammad initially believed that it was the devil that was in the cave with him. Muhammad initially believed, because he ran home to his wife and he said, cover me, cover me. He asked her, what is wrong with me? He says, what he says, I don't want to misquote him. I fear for myself. Literally, that's what he says. It's Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 9, hadith 111. He said, I fear for myself. He asked her, what is wrong with me? Even in the very same hadith, Muhammad was trying to kill himself several times. So when the brother say Satan create a religion, if you add it all up, you will see that Satan create Islam. You will see. So even if he didn't go into the sex craziness of Muhammad, we have evidence that Satan is behind Islam. Even Muhammad, the statements of Muhammad, you have never heard that anywhere. The statement of Muhammad, you have never heard that anywhere. According to Surah 6, verse 112, the God of Islam attached to every prophet, appointed to every prophet, a Satan. And according to the same surah, the same ayah, it says the Satan is involved in decorative speech of delusion. We see where Aisha told us that Muhammad was once deluded, but they call it witchcraft. He was so deluded to the point where he used to imagine he'd done things that he did not do. How can you trust somebody like that? God's imagining that he did things that he did not do. How can you trust a man like that? What kind of God is it that allow his mouthpiece to be deluded? Only Satan, man. That's what the real God revealed to us. The true people of God, the people with common sense, the people with godly wisdom, the people with the Holy Spirit. We can see that this is not from God. Whatever spirit was behind Muhammad is not from God. Not only that, Muhammad make a statement that there is a demon, a Satan attached to every believer. the companion asked Muhammad, he said, to you too, Allah apostle? He said, yes, but Allah help him, and his demon, his Satan, only command him but for good. Where have you ever heard that language where Satan is commanding a person to do good? Nowhere but Islam. Nowhere but Islam. This is Islam for you. Islam for you. This the nonsense of Muhammad and Islam for you.
This is a fact. He married a girl at 6 years old and then consummated the marriage at 9. That is rape. And the reason why it doesn't faze the average Muslim when you bring that up to them is because Jesus is not in their heart. Is because the Holy Spirit, God, is not in their heart.
Young Don.
Yeah, really, really, really true. And listen to this clown now. Now listen to this clown. Do you guys want to see a clown? This is a clown, a true clown. You just listen to him and you know that you're dealing with a clown of the highest caliber. When you listen to this guy, you know you're dealing with a clown. So here is his reaction to what the young brother said. Here is his reaction. So the young brother said, the only reason a Muslim cannot see that something is wrong with a man having sex with a 9-year-old is because Jesus is not in their heart. The Holy Spirit is far from them. And that's why. For real, because you as a man see something wrong with that. See something wrong with that. And then the stupid Quran is going to tell you that this man is the excellent example to follow. This man who have sex with a 9-year-old girl, baby, is the excellent example to follow. So you realize that something is not right there. You know, and how do you know? Because what? Our godly, the impression of the Holy Spirit upon our conscience. It's not because, oh, we are better than anybody else. It's because of the Holy Spirit on our conscience that shows us like, hey, this is not right. This is not right. It's totally not right. And to say that this man is the excellent example for people to follow. So here is Uthman, the stupid clown.
If you see this, somebody clips and send this to you, I hope you're going to be fair and honest and open enough that when I give the references from the Bible, you're going to go and look them up. And if you're going to make any kind of accusations against Islam and the Prophet of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, then I hope that you will make the same exact words against other traditions when I bring them up.
Look, notice what he said, other traditions. What is a tradition? What tradition? Was Jesus against tradition? He said other traditions when he bring them up. Was Jesus against tradition? Was Jesus against Jewish traditions? Was Jesus against the teaching of Jewish tradition? Yes, he was against the teaching of Jewish tradition. He told them that they are substituting the word of God for their tradition. You know, when he told the Pharisees and the scribes that you substitute the word of God for your tradition. In the book of Matthew, I can't remember exactly what verse it is, but I know he teach them that they substitute the tradition of the teaching of God for man-made tradition. And nowhere in the Bible you will see what Uthman is implying. And let's get to what he's implying.
Otherwise, your sincerity will be known to everybody.
And do you notice he's saying that clip this and clip that? Like you don't think that there's Christian out here who can solidify through the Holy Spirit, who can solidify this young brother's belief by making videos about this clown and tag young Don or send it to him in some ways to let him see that, hey, this is your belief and stay firm in your belief, because Uthman is nothing but a clown. Look at this clown right here. Do you see this clown? One of the stooges, this one right here. When Uthman talk, he believes it's Jesus who talk. This is how we should be smiling when Jesus talk. Look Look at this clown right here. Do you see how this clown, look at his face? And the last video I showed of these three stooges, notice he have this very same smile. He believed that Uthman is God's gift to mankind. He believed Uthman is the best thing since sliced bread, the best thing since iron. Man, look at him. Can you imagine if he's smiling and acting like that when Uthman is talking? What if Muhammad was there talking? Oh my, he would be one of the guys who eat Muhammad poop. Look at one of my video. You will see where a guy eat Muhammad defecate and the guy eat Muhammad's stool. As soon as it came out of his butt, the guy pick it up and eat it. This guy look like he's one of those guys who would pick up Muhammad poop and eat it, because if he is glorifying and smiling so much when a liar talk, what would he do when the chief of liar talk? What would he do if this clown that we reveal in the 21st century in 2022 as a clown is talking and he's smiling so much? The man who put ketchup on his shirt and claimed someone stabbed him in his tire. If this guy is talking and this clown is smiling so much, what would he do if Muhammad, peace be upon him, is talking? What would he do? What would he do? What would he do if Muhammad is talking? And listen to the clownery.
Talking about pedophilia, I'm going to bring up something from his Bible. And I know he feels he doesn't need to defend his Bible, but he needs to at least defend his statements now, right? That you can look up, bring your references. If you want to bring any of your little friends, Apis or Mr. Hammer Time or any of them, bring them. All right.
Do you notice that? Look how clownish this is. This guy is talking about Christianity, talking to a Christian, and he said, if you want to bring any of your friend Apis, apostate prophet, why would the young Don bring apostate prophet to debate Christian issues? Why? And he said, I'm a time. Clouting, that's all he do. Clouting. How many times this clown have been revealed? I bet he wouldn't say God logic. I bet he wouldn't say bring God logic. He run from God logic. I don't think this clown is even no more in Balboa Park. This clown is somewhere maybe closer to Hollywood where he feel good because he's an actor. Why would he say bring Apis? Why? Why not anybody that that make that's a Christian apologist and make sense? Why? Why is it? Why is it you bring Apis? What does Apis, apostate prophet, have to do with Christianity and young Don? I don't know.
Right here, live, bring it.
Well, confidence, I see. Okay, guys, first of all, this is Socrates' son. Always I remember to introduce myself. I forget.
So we just want to see where he make the statement about Aisha, Rebecca. This is a different video from the one I really okay. I think it's right here.
Can't say about Aisha radhiyallahu anha that her age was appropriate for the time for marriage. And how do we know that? That she was already engaged to Jubair ibn Mut'im before she was even engaged. I'm not talking about marriage, I'm talking about engagement to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him.
Do you see how crazy that society was? That Aisha was already engaged to a man, but they break off the engagement to marry to Muhammad. But guess what? She was engaged to a man while she was 6 years old. That she already engaged to two people. At 6 years old, she already engaged to two people. Because don't care what this clown say, he cannot undo the record that is written. He cannot undo the record that is written there. He could talk all the lies that he want to talk. He cannot undo the record that is written there. The record is already written, and he cannot undo it. There is nothing he can do that can undo the record that is already written. So what we're going to show here is the hadith itself, just to show that this guy is not a real logical person. How do you get around these hadith? And there are several of them. There is several of them. Narrated Aisha that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated the marriage when I was 9 years old. Consummated mean having sex. So married to the child when the child was what? Married to the child when the child was what? 6 years old. Have sex with the child when the child was 9 years old. So what Uthman is trying to tell us, that she was exposed to be married to another man before Muhammad. It shows that it's a common theme within the society, and Muhammad didn't change it. A common behavior in the society for them to be messing with children, and Muhammad did not change that. Muhammad continued with that behavior. There was even a point where this man have I think his father or his brother, I think it's his brother or his father, and his father died, and the children have no mother. So he decided to marry to a woman who is mature, so that the mature woman can help him to take care of his young brothers or his young children. I can't remember if it was his brother or his children, his sibling or his children. And Muhammad says, why didn't you marry to a young virgin so you can play with her and she can play with you? Muhammad have the mind of a child, man. Why didn't you marry to a young virgin? The man make a responsible move. The man make a responsible move, and Muhammad is asking this man, why didn't you marry to that you could play with? And let me see if I could find this hadith. Let me see if I could find that hadith, just to show you guys the mind of Muhammad. What these guys are teaching. Uthman is nothing but a liar, man. And we'll see as we go along that Uthman is a clown. Why didn't you marry to a virgin? Hadith. Let me see if we can find that. Oh yeah, here it is. I'll show you guys right here now. Prophet Muhammad, man, the most beautiful prophet in the world. Man, oh, what an example to follow. Look at Muhammad. Look what he says here. Prophet Muhammad, beautiful guy, man. All right. So here we go. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. While we were returning from Ghazwa, holy battle with the Prophet, I started driving my camel fast. Let me see if that's the one. And it could not be. Let me see. Okay. The rider was the Prophet himself. He said, "What makes you in such a hurry?" I said, "I am newly married." He said, did you marry a virgin or a matron? I reply, a matron. He said, why didn't you marry a young girl so that you, do you see it right here? Why didn't you marry a young girl so you can play with her and she play with you? And there is another, there is actually another version of it. There is actually another version as to why the guy married to this woman. Or this may be a totally different story. But there is a story where Muhammad actually says to this guy, why didn't you marry to a virgin that you can play with? So there might be a different story. But I know there is this story where Muhammad, this guy married to a grown woman, and Muhammad said it would be better. Why didn't you marry to a virgin instead of married to a grown person? So you could play with her. This is Muhammad's idea of having fun. Anyway, let's get back to Uthman the lying Farooq, and we'll see what this clown is about to say. I wish I had gone to the original video. I thought I was, but I guess I was not at the original video.
For us to judge that age today is what's called presentism. This is not fair. This is not appropriate. Why? Rami, if you can, on your screen, bring up Safari, Google, Chrome, I don't really care. Look up average life expectancy 6th century.
Oh, wow. Look where the clown went. But that's not what I want to show you guys. So I just, I don't want to show you guys all that stuff. That's way too much. Way too much. Average life expectancy. What does life expectancy got to do with you having sex with a 9-year-old child? His first wife was older than him, according to the narrative. There were older women than him there. There was young women his age, and older than him. So what does life expectancy have to do with you marrying to a little child? It doesn't have anything to do with you marrying to a little child, life expectancy. Because what? There were so many women in Medina that Muhammad could tell them, hey, you could marry to 4 women at one time. Muhammad had 9 wives. And some narration said 11. So why is it that it was paramount for him to marry to a 9-year-old, and this clown is talking about life expectancy? That doesn't make any sense. This is how deceptive and stupid these clowns are.
It says nature would tell them you are now physically ready to get married. And that
nature would tell you that you're now physically ready to get married. Nature speak to you like a monkey in the zoo. What a clown, man. So nature don't tell you. Do you see how stupid this clown is? So nature don't speak to children today and tell them that, oh, you're physically ready to get married. So if you're 9-year-old or 10-year-old start having her menstrual cycle, then she's ready to get married. What a clown. Nature tell you that you're ready to get married. And the funny thing about it, if you look what Muhammad Ijab says, Muhammad Ijab, I don't know if this guy would put this into his thing. No. Muhammad Ijab even say, if you follow the Quran alone, you could have sex with a 5-year-old. Muhammad Ijab says, if you follow the Quran alone, you could have sex with a 5-year-old. You know? So, I don't know. I don't know. And this is called the clear Quran. I mean, in a language so clear for them to understand. It is ridiculous. But I think I picked up the wrong video, so let's get to the video that we really want to get to. I want to get to the one where this clown is talking about Rebecca. And let me put it here, Sheikh Uthman, Uthman. I thought I was on it, but I maybe was watching that and okay, here it is. Here it is.
It's completely shifted my attitude towards Islam. Before, I just thought this is a false religion. Now I'm like, oh no, this is a tool of Satan. This is a tool of Satan, and the people who are following it are unknowingly soldiers of the devil of the highest degree, right? Some of his strongest foot soldiers. God made a religion, it's Christianity. The devil made a religion, it's called Islam. I didn't know that the Prophet Muhammad.
Totally agree. Strong word, my brother, and I totally agree. I like how your boldness, you ain't softening anything. That is how you handle Islam. You don't come soft with Islam, because there is nothing soft about that murderous evil religion. So you come at it just the same way you do right there.
Muhammad, the person who invented the religion, raped a 9-year-old girl. This is a fact. He married a girl at 6 years old and then consummated the marriage at 9. That is rape. And the reason why it doesn't faze the average Muslim when you bring that up to them is because Jesus is not in their heart. Is because the Holy Spirit, God, is not in their heart.
Young Don, if you see this, somebody clips and send this to you, I hope you're going to be fair and honest and open enough that when I give the references from the Bible, you're going to go and look them up. And if you're going to make any kind of accusations against Islam and the Prophet of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, then I hope that you will make the same exact words against other traditions when I bring them up. Otherwise, your sincerity will be known to everybody. Talking about pedophilia, I'm going to bring up something from his Bible. And I know he feels he doesn't need to defend his Bible, but he needs to at least defend his statements now, right?
I wonder, what do you think this clown is going to bring up from the Bible? Hey, do you remember this? Let's show you something. Let's show you something. How we reveal clown. Justification by all means. But look at this, my brother. And this is what is getting into this clown head. I remember a statement made by this guy. What was his name? Sneeko or something like that. But look at the statement made by Sneeko, and you will see why it is dangerous to fill the head of people like Uthman. Listen to this.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible, which is...
Do you hear what this guy in the middle said to Uthman? That he's an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible, which is...
Uthman is an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
Can you imagine that? Uthman is an expert on the Quran and the Bible. So now listen to expert Uthman. Let's listen to expert Uthman. Satan building a 2 million man army for the Mahdi to attack Israel. That I'm telling you, because what they have to fulfill the clownery of Muhammad. And Muhammad says they shall kill the Jews, and the Jews shall hide behind the tree. And the tree said, "There's a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him." And they hide behind the rock, and the Jew hide behind the rock, and the rock says, "There's a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him." I wonder if the rock talk like a woman or a man. What a clownery! What a clownery religion. So we see that Sneeko, or Sneeko, whatever his name is, put it in the head of the stupid clown Uthman that he's a expert and the Quran and the Bible. But look, let's listen to what this expert is going to say.
They're going to want to hear this one.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely going to want.
Listen to this clown. They're going to want to hear this one. And then some clowns say they're definitely going to want to hear this one. Man, these stooges are comedians.
I want to hear this one. Listen, I want to give a quick disclaimer right now. This is not an enticement of violence, harassment, bullying, threats. We don't want to hear out that, you know, because of you guys, we did this to Don or we send him this message. We don't want to get any of this smoke. Listen, the reality is, Don, if you're watching this, we just have a question for you. You've been going on streams on your channel every single day.
Do you hear this stooge? Before he even make his claim, he's appealing to Don as if what he's gonna say is something so marvelous that, oh, there is no recovery. Nothing but clowns, man. Young men who gave their brain, and this is why these idiots become suicide bomber and stuff like that. You know why? Because their mindset is like this: one track, stupid mind. They let an idiot like Uthman came in and turn them into more of a clown than they are. More of a clown than they are.
Click on it. You have a title that doesn't have anything to do with Islam. So it shows you started the stream with the intention of talking about something. And then eventually you start talking bad about Islam. And then 2 hours later, it's deleted.
Is he talking bad about Islam, or is he talking about Islam? But see, the funny thing about it, do you notice this clown talk about deleting a post that what's the name? Delete a post. Sometimes a person make a post and realize that it caused eat, and if they don't want to eat and they know that these Muslims are murderers, you know, because a lot of these Muslims are murderers. You see where Muhammad Ijab says they have Muslim thugs. They have Muslim thugs. When they try to kill the author Salman Rushdie, you hear Muhammad Ijab justify it and saying that they have Muslim thugs. So a lot of people don't want to eat. They're not brave enough to take the eat. So, you know, he said, hey, let me get rid of this. So if the guy delete something from his channel, it could be like that. But I want to ask this clown right here, why is it that he edited the why is it that he edited one of his video? Because he was getting eat for my channel, and literally as soon as I make my video, it was edited. Literally, I make my video, I tag them in it, and then they edit the video. And I will show you which video was edited. Look at this video here and tell me if this is not an edited video. So they telling him that, oh, you delete your video, but what about you editing a video? So let me see. Let me see if I can find this video right here. Right here. Here it is right here. Now look at this video right here and tell me if this is not an edited video. Let me show you. Do you see this video here, right here, there? This one right here. This one right here that says convert to Islam, converts to Islam. That was not the original title. They took a brother that looked like Young Don and they gave him a similar name, Young Dom. And I could show you that. They give him a similar name, Young Dom, and then they for clouting, they do that. Just because they want to clout, they decided to do that. So here we are. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying is the truth. So I'm going to show you a video, and you look at that clip. Just look. Just look at that clip right there and tell me if I am lying. So here we go. I'm going to share. Look at the clip that I'm showing right now, the one that I point out to you. The one that I'm pointing out to you. Look at it. This one that say converts to Islam. Do you see that one? Now look at this video and tell me if you don't see the same person and they change they edit the do you see? Young Dom converts to Islam from Christianity. And the brother up here at the top, his name is Young Don Reborn. So they get a person, a doppelganger, that looks almost like him, and they decided to make a shocker to get more views on a video. But they're talking about him deleting his video. Do you see how these clowns operate? This is how these clowns operate. Yes, they did edit it. They changed the video, the name of the video, whatever they call it, the thumbnail. They change it because they realized that I tagged them to my video so they could see my video and see how much they're clouting and lying to themselves. And this is what they do. They decided, okay, we are going to change the video. So let's get back to Uthman ibn Farooq.
Like, I don't understand this, bro. Like, if you're going to say it, why are you deleting it? You know? But...
And what about you? If you're going to say young Dom convert to Islam, why did you edit? Why did you edit it? Because you see that you are using the man's name, something similar to the man's name, for clouting. The man have 2,000 plus, 200,000 plus subscriber, and you're using his name for clout. So you get a doppelganger that look like him, and you have him give him a similar name to draw the audience attention, because all you're into is clouting, making money from YouTube, and becoming popular from YouTube. That's all you are into, nothing more. And then look at this clown smiling. The Bible gave us something like this: shun the very appearance of evil. Some people decide to shun the very appearance of evil in different ways. Some people believe that, hey, these Muslims, they will hurt you. There are Muslims out here who will hurt you. So let me take this off my platform so no one can find that on my platform. You know, the guy doesn't want that kind of heat to his platform, so he decided to change, to take away this. But why is it that you edit something? Why did you edit a post that you already make? A video that you already make, why did you edit it? Because you were revealed as a clown and a clout.
Unfortunately, you had to, ask for the smoke, so Uthman's going to deliver today, inshallah.
Oh, wow. Uthman is going to deliver the smoke. You're right. He can't deliver the fire. He can only deliver the smoke. It's a clown. He's a clown. He's not coming with any heat. He coming with, are you sure he coming with smoke? He might be coming with a smokeless fire. You know, Satan is created from a smokeless fire. Oh man.
Look, before we even start, I just want to say we want good for you, Don. In case you watch this or somebody sends you the clip.
You want good for Don. This clown who been lying to Christians say, I want good for you. This footnote lying fibber, I want good for you. A liar cannot bring you any good. A liar don't bring people good. A liar is just a liar. So even this, when he said, I want good for you, he's lying.
We want good for you. We want you to be guided.
We want good for you. We want you to be guided. Can a liar guide somebody? No. A liar cannot, and a stupid clown cannot guide anybody.
Towards the truth. We want you to follow what is truth. And we feel that you are sincere in the fact that you do want to find the truth, but maybe the way you're going about it is incorrect. Instead of
and you lying is not incorrect. Listen to this clown, man. Wow. Can you imagine? A clown, a liar, is giving you lecture on how to live your life. A liar is giving people lecture on how to live their life. Notorious liar is giving lecture. If you look at the amount of time this clown lies, oh wow. If he was supposed to be, if you give him $500 for all the time he lie, he possibly be a millionaire by now. He possibly be a millionaire. If you take all his videos and find all the time he lies and give him $500 for every time he lie, this clown would be a millionaire. This clown would be a millionaire, but he is the one out here giving you advice on how to live your life. Can you imagine him? Can you imagine? This is all these idiots could come up with to give to people to refute a young Christian. This clown, this clown is what they afford to give. Do you see that the God of Islam is nothing at all? It's a nobody. Because if this is the clown that the God of Islam can afford to give to refute this young Christian brother, then you know there's something wrong with this God of Islam.
Discussion face to face instead of talking it through, just making streams and watching Islamophobes. By the way, all those people that you watched and you talked.
And do you notice what he said? Watching Islamophobe. Speaking the truth is considered Islamophobe for this clown. You know, you are an Islamophobe because you have irrational fear of not wanting to speak the truth about Islam. This clown have an irrational fear of not wanting to speak the truth about Islam. Why is it that you must lie to Christian? Do you see the video that I show where when you are in the council of your Muslim brother, your tongue says something different, but when you are in the council of Christian, where you are around Christian, your tongue is saying something different. Even your Muslim brother call you a notorious liar. In the video that I show, is a liar. So let's let him continue.
About watching, I've already debated him face to face, and you can go watch those debates on the One Message Foundation channel. You can see how they fell apart. If you really want to know the truth.
Wow. This clown said they fell. And did you hear what he says? If you really want to know the truth.
We're inviting you right now. Jump on, even if you want to come in during half the show, and we'll.
No. Tell him to jump on with someone else. Tell him to jump on with someone who can handle your stupidity. Man.
We'll have a civil conversation with evidences, with references that you can look up. Bring your references. If you want to bring any of your little friends, Apis or Mr. Hammer Time or any of them, bring them. We're right here, live, bring it.
Christianity and Islam, which is of the devil. And you can see it in the behaviors after the fact. If I went on that stream and I had talked with all those Muslims and, you know, and I didn't know anything about Islam. I didn't know that the Prophet Muhammad, the person who invented the religion, raped a 9-year-old girl. This is a fact. He married a girl at 6 years old and then consummated the marriage at 9. That is rape. Anybody that wants to try and tell me that a 9-year-old girl can have consensual sex with a 53-year-old man, you're sick. Or they're just so deluded. And the reason why it doesn't faze the average Muslim when you bring that up to them is because Jesus is not in their heart. Is because the Holy Spirit, God, is not in their heart to strengthen that morale. How do you hear this and try to look past it or rationalize that the Quran? See, I learned a lot about Islam after the fact. You know what I mean? What people,
after the call?
After the call, yeah, because I went into it thinking that I was about to learn about Islam. But in them, you know, coming for me, I had to now go and learn about it on my own terms.
When you talk about rape, I don't know where the idea of rape came from.
Do you see? they believe that they're coming after the guy is gonna affect the guy. But what happened is the other thing around, because Christians started reaching out to this guy and showing this guy like this is what happening. And apostate prophet, even apostate prophet, reach out to the guy and let the guy know that, hey, this is it. This is Islam. Don't be deceived. This is Islam. And we are furthering, and we are reaching out to him more, just to show that what Uthman say is from the head of a naive wolf. Uthman is nothing but a liar. And when you tell lie for the most of your life, after a while, lie becomes so natural that all you can do is tell lie. You know, and the truth means nothing, and you call the lie truth. This is how you know, it's like, you know, you've been brainwashed, you've been programmed to take a lie and turn it into truth. And that's what happened to Uthman. Uthman is turning lies into truth.
But let's talk about marriage, and let's talk about the age of Aisha radiallahu anha. None of us are mentally present at the time of birth. None of us notice, hey, you're born, and you're like, hey, I'm born today. What's the time? What's the date, right? If we ask anyone here when you were born, you're going to look at a birth certificate. You're going to look at your passport. You're going to go ask your mom. You don't remember.
All that make no sense. Aisha says she was 6 years old. Aisha says she was 6 years old, and she was 9 when she had sex with Muhammad. So all this stuff about, oh, you look at my birth certificate, look at that, all that stuff don't make no sense. All that stuff doesn't make no sense. We know the age of Muhammad. If you ask this clown what was the age of Muhammad, he will tell you the real age of Muhammad. If you're having a conversation with this clown elsewhere and you ask this clown what was the age of Muhammad, he will tell you the age of Muhammad. But because he must defend something, he was like, oh, we didn't know when she was born. And we did. He must play the monkey game. He must play the monkey game because this is what he have to do. He have to play the monkey game.
Remember, right? So you're basically taking information from other sources. And if those sources have some ambiguity, then you're going to pass that on. Arabs had no calendar. Understand this. That the Arabs had no calendar. I don't mean that they didn't have lunar or solar. I mean, they had no calendar.
So the Arab have no calendar, so they don't know their age. We don't know what Muhammad's age is. We don't know what Aisha age is. We don't know what Khadija age is. We don't know all that stuff. They have no calendar, so we don't know what their age is. But yet still, they know the month of Ramadan. They know this, and they know this, and they know this. But they don't know the age. They don't have no way of keeping what age they have. But they have no calendar because they have no calendar. Wow, what a beautiful guy. But if you ask this clown elsewhere, what was the age of Muhammad? He would tell you that Muhammad was, when he died, he would tell you what age Muhammad was when he died. If you ask this clown what the age of Muhammad when he started getting his so-called revelation, this clown will tell you the age of Muhammad when he started, and how long. If you ask this clown, how long did it take for the revelation for Muhammad to get the Quran, he will tell you that it's 20-odd years, he was 23 years. He will tell you. This clown will tell you, but they don't have calendar to count how many years. Making up stories, man. Wow.
Basically, they would have events like Am al-Fil, the year when Abraha attacked Mecca with the elephant, and they would kind of give it a name from an event or a drought or a flood or
oh wow,
a lot of rain, and they would give it a name, and they would try to map ages from that. And that's why, not just discussing Aisha radiallahu anha, even Khadija radiallahu anha, the first wife of the Prophet ﷺ, who, by the way, as long as he was married to, he didn't marry any other woman.
Do you hear that? As long as he was married to her, he didn't marry to any other woman. Do you see the immorality that Islam brought to Muhammad? Do you see the immorality that Islam brought to Muhammad? When he was with Khadija, and before all this so-called prophecy, he was only with one woman. And then as soon as this woman and Aisha and Khadija's deathbed, Muhammad have his plan, what he would do. On Khadija's deathbed, Muhammad go to Khadija and said to her, when you meet my wives with not F-E, I'm talking about V-E-S, wives, plural, in paradise. In paraphrasing him, don't be mad at them when you meet them in paradise. And the woman's deathbed is telling this woman, like, hey, I'm going to marry to a lot of women when you are gone. This is how evil this guy is. While your wife is dying, this is how you could go and talk to her. Tell her about the many wives that you're gonna be that you're gonna be marrying to.
She passed away, and then he married other women after that. But until she was alive, she was his only wife. Even her age disputed. Why? Because again, the Arabs were not concerned about recording your birthday.
The Arab was not concerned about recording your birthday, but the hadith is so clear that the Prophet married to me when I was 6 years old and consummate his marriage when I was 9 years old. And listen to what this says. Isham said, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet for 9 years. They weren't concerned about until his death. They weren't concerned about here and time and all this stuff. But listen how many times is in this one hadith. 6 years old, 9 years old, and 9 years, which means 18 years old. So in one hadith, you see how concerned they were about time. One hadith alone, you see how concerned they were about time. This guy is a clown, man. Straight up clown. Nothing he say can should be taken as anything that we're worthwhile saying.
The early scholars also, we know their death dates, we don't know their birth date. For the early scholars of Islam and the Sahaba and so on. Some of them we have.
Why would we know their birth date? Why would you know the birth date of a scholar? The early scholar, like who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Like Ibn Abbas, who is he talking about? Who, when he said early scholars? I don't know who is he talking about.
Ideas, because if they have major events that happened that year, like the year of the field, Amil field of the elephant, with the year that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was born, then because of that major event, we know. But if people are born in years where there weren't major events, then it's very hard to know their exact age.
So how did Aisha know that she was 6 years old? And how did she know that she was 9 years old when the Prophet have sex with her? You can't hide from these things. And this is what this clown is doing. He cannot hide from these. These things are things that he cannot hide from. But what he decided to do is, you know, just start nonsense, man. So let's see what else we can get.
Look up average life expectancy.
We already see that.
Yeah. And for anyone that didn't hear that, that's the logical fallacy of presentism.
So the logical fallacy of presentism. So you're using you're gonna say, oh, life expectancy of a person. What does life expectancy have to do with? According to him, he talk about Muhammad's first wife. And Muhammad's first wife was a grown woman. So what does life expectancy have to do with you marrying to a baby, a child? Nothing at all. And the fact that this guy is going to use Rebecca age, the so-called Rebecca age, to justify Muhammad, you will see that within his small mind, he do believe that Muhammad married to Aisha at 6 years old and have sex with her when she was 9.
Of age. In Hong Kong, in Japan, it's around 80.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So today, when we talk about the age of marriage being 18,
look, this clown is going to jump in rivers and ocean and going to Hong Kong and going to, but where have you seen in a Hong Kong a book claiming that there is a prophet in Hong Kong who is the last prophet for mankind that have sex with a 9-year-old? Where have you seen these things? So what he's doing, he's jumping all over the seas and over the ocean and over the mulberry bush to come up with ideas to defend this man. This man claimed that he is the final prophet to the world. That's what he claimed. So all these jumping over, what is this? How is this sufficing? How is this helping this clown? Huh?
They would get married because nature would tell them you are now physically ready to get married.
Nature will tell them. Nature stopped telling 9-year-old now that they're ready to get married. When a 10-year-old, because they have 10-year-olds now who are going through their cycle and all the stuff. I'm a nurse, you know. It's not something that I like to speak about, because it's a woman issue and it's children, a girl's issue. But just to be real, there are 10 years old now who are going through their menstrual cycle. Does that nature, because that's natural for them to go through their menstrual cycle, and that's nature. Does that nature tell them that they're ready to get married? So nature stopped speaking to 10-year-old now. I don't know. Nature is telling you that it's ready for you to get married. No. Nature doesn't. A custom is what violate children. Customs are what violate children. Are indecency and custom is what violate children. Like in our society today, indecency and immorality is what violate children, whether boy or girl. It's your immorality and your indecency that violate children. A grown man having sex with a child is indecency and immorality and ungodliness. In Muhammad days, the culture was there, but Muhammad claimed he is, and this is why we know that Muhammad God was a fraud. Muhammad God never see the future, and Muhammad God never see that, hey, this guy, I'm saying in Surah 33, verse 21, that this guy is the perfect example to follow. So it's for all lifetime. It's for all lifetime. So how can a Muslim man, how can a Muslim say another Muslim is immoral if he have sex, if he's allowed to marry to a child at 9 and have sex with her? How can this Muslim society today say that that man is immoral? They can't, because it's written in their book that Muhammad is the perfect example to follow.
Just the first link, just leave it there. It's a commentary on. We're not gonna. I'm gonna get to that.
And do you see what he do here? He started showing all these things that he showed here from the rabbinic interpretation. This is man's tradition. This have nothing to do with what is written in the Bible. Nothing to do what is written in the Bible. So Jacob brought her into the tent of Mother Sarah. Yisak, what is this? Yisak is a. Here the Torah first referred to Rivka merely with the pronoun her. So this is from the rabbis. This is from the rabbi. All man-made tradition that the Torah doesn't speak about. The Torah does not speak about these things, but it's all man-made tradition. But I want to catch when Yes, this is it here.
Defend his statements now, right? If you don't mind, Rami, can you bring up the first screenshot that I sent you?
100%.
Excellent. So I'm going to give you guys some Bible verses, and I'm going to leave the screenshot there, and I want to discuss it in a minute. But I want everybody to write down these verses as well, so they can keep this as a record. If we look in the Bible that Mr. Don claims to believe in, that he's promoting, that Christians hand out to us, that give out, that you go to hotels. And
all this stuff he's showing here, this is not the Bible. This is man's tradition. You know, and as I was saying to you guys earlier, I said Jesus came and was against man's tradition. Jesus did not agree with the tradition of man. You know, what your tradition is, you know, what you look at as a tradition. So let me just read a Bible verse for you. So you see, he's showing what how the rabbis interpret, the rabbis who don't believe in Jesus and lost their way, how they interpret the old the story of Rebecca. But look what Jesus says. Matthew 15 verse 6. Thus ye have made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. You know, you see where Jesus was constantly talking about the Jews and their tradition. What they say, oh, this is the tradition, and this is because what the way they interpret the scriptures, where a lot of times is their own selfishness, nothing to do with God at all. Nothing at all to do with how the scriptures are supposed to be interpreted. So you see him showing, if you notice, he didn't show a Bible verse by itself. He's showing what the rabbis believe. That's tradition. What the rabbis believe that. But when you read the Bible verse itself, the Bible verses itself, you don't see that from the Bible verses itself. What you see is a totally different story from the immoral minds of the rabbis. See, if you go to Matthew to verse 7, if you go to verse 7 of the same Matthew, you will see where Jesus is just bashing them about their tradition. Let me show you how Jesus was destroying them, telling them that their traditions are evil. Let me show you. And Muslims like to use these verses when they're supposed to use it in the right context. They don't see it. Jesus said to them, you hypocrites, Isaiah prophesied correctly about you. These people are with their lips, but they are far from me. They worship me in vain. They teach as doctrine the precepts of men. And do you see what this clown do? He, on the page that he's showing, if you look at it, all you see there is precepts of men. Nothing whatsoever that have to do with what is written in the book of Genesis about Rebecca. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You find it in their drawers. In Genesis 17:17, we find, and if one of you guys can take some notes here as well, that Sarah was 90 when Abraham was 100.
So in Genesis 17, verse 17, Sarah was 90 when Abraham was 100.
Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Sarah, right? So Sarah was how old? She was 90 when Abraham was 100, according to Genesis 17:17. You got me? Okay.
Sorry.
Now in
Sorry, just
yeah.
so I have 3 links. I have the
No, just the first link. Just leave it there. It's a commentary on. We're not gonna. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But first, I just want you guys to write these ages or remember them. Okay. Genesis 17:17 in the Bible. Again, I want to make a point. The age of Aisha radiallahu anha is not in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ didn't tell us. We do know from
The history of Muhammad is not in the Quran, so I don't know why you're making that statement. The history of Muhammad is not in the Quran, but according to the Quran, you need to follow Muhammad's example. So where is his example? The example of Muhammad come in the Hadith. It comes from the saying of Muhammad, and it comes from the saying of the Sahaba. So that's the history of Muhammad. And that's the history of Aisha, history of Muhammad's life. So I don't know why he talking about the age of Muhammad of Aisha is not in the Quran. The Quran is not written like the Bible is written. The Bible gave the story, a kind of story of the life of the people who are prophets. The Quran come different and don't give that life. It's not the Quran and the Bible. The Quran and the Tanakh and the Gospel is not written the same way. And this is why you know that they are from different authors. They are not from the same sources. You know, they are not from the same God.
From Mawquf Sahih Hadith, and think we have no problem with that. But this I'm giving you from the Bible itself.
And look, do you notice what he did? He didn't go to the Bible, because this is not the Bible. This is not the Bible. But he's showing this on this screen. This is not the Bible at all. This is man's tradition. This is man's tradition. After the fact, the Bible was have been written, the Torah have been written, and then these rabbis go in with their carnal mind and wrote these things. And this is why you see Jesus was bashing them when he came along. He told them that they're teaching man-made doctrines, man-made precepts. Their understanding is nothing but man-made precepts. Because what? They lost understanding. They lost understanding of what God wants to have in his message. And you will see that Uthman is following the same pathway. I like when people say that. Allah go snack bar. Uthman is following in the same pathway. So Momo sound like a meth head. He did definitely sound like a crackhead. But Uthman is following in the same pathway Jewish rabbi, and you will see that. Watch this now. Let's continue with the clown, and you will see where the clown is going.
From their text, their holy text, okay? Sarah was 90, Abraham was 100, Genesis 17:17. In Genesis 21:5, Abraham was 100 when Ishaq or Isaac was born, okay? In Genesis...
So Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born.
23:1 and 2, in the beginning, we find that Sarah died at the age of 127.
So Sarah died at the age of 127.
Stay with me. You can watch this recording again later if you want to really get this down. Isaac, Ishaq, was 40 when he married Rebecca. According to the Bible, look at Genesis 25:20.
So Isaac was 40 when he married Rebecca.
Explicit. He was 40 years old when he married Rebecca. Sarah was 90 when Isaac was born. According to the Bible, when Ishaq ﷺ was born, Sarah was 90 years old. That's a conclusion you can take from 1 and 2, from Sarah being 90 when Abraham was 100, and Abraham being 100 when Isaac was born. So she was here. Now we find that she was 90 when Isaac was born. Now, Isaac or Ishaq was 37 when his mother Sarah died. Okay.
So he was 37 when his mother Sarah died. So he married when he was 40, and he was 37 when his mother died. So he married 3 years after his mother's death. And listen to this clown now.
Look at that. If you take 127, subtract 90 from it, you get 37. And Ishaq being 37 at his mother's death, and he was 37 when Rebecca was born, because Rebecca was born.
Where does the Bible say that Isaac was 37 when Rebecca was born? Nowhere. This guy is nothing but a headless, illiterate donkey. All he does, he go to these rabbinic sites and parrot their delusions. But when the rabbis write their stupidity, who was there to cross-examine the stupidity that they wrote? Because let me show you something. We're going to show you something real fast, and we show you that this doesn't make any sense. Look what this clown is going to use. He's going to use Genesis 22, Genesis 22, verse 20 to 24, to say that that's the time that Rebecca was born. But if you read it yourself, it doesn't tell you that Rebecca was born this time. Let's show you. It doesn't state the date that Rebecca was born at this time. Let me show you that. It does not state that date that Rebecca was born at that time. Let me show you how clownish and stupid this guy is. So if you read this, Genesis 22, verse 20 to 24, you go down and you read, what does it say? It says, Nahor's son, that's the headline. But anyway, sometime later, Abram was told, notice that, sometime later, Abram was told, Milcah is also a mother. He didn't tell you when Milcah become a mother. But he was just told that Milcah is a mother and has borne sons to her brother Nahor. Listen to this. Huz, the firstborn, Buz, his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram, Kesed, Hazu, Peldash, Jiblav, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. It doesn't say when Rebekah was born. Does not. He's just telling you a history. He's just giving you the history that this man have this woman or this man have children and grandchild and a grandchild. That's all it does. And grandchildren, not only grandchild, because he says the father of Aram. So all it's telling you is that this man have children and grandchildren. He didn't tell you that he was born at no point. The Bible doesn't give the birth time of Rebecca. It just tell you that Abram heard about these things. Sometime later, Abram was told that he was told about something. If I say to you, my brother, say you have children, and I'm saying to you that my brother also have children, which was born to him from a woman called Judith. And I said, John is the firstborn. James is his brother. Samuel, the father of Aram. and I'm naming off the children, and then I got down to the maybe not even the last child, but I said to you, one of the child of a daughter called Rebecca. That's literally what Abraham is hearing. He's not hearing that Rebecca is born at that moment. He's hearing that Rebecca is a grandchild of Milcah and Nahor. Nowhere it states that she was born at this time. Milcah bore these 8 sons to Abraham's brother Nahor. So he's just hearing about even his brother's son. Abraham is just hearing even about his brother's son. Notice what he says. Sometime later, Abraham was told. He didn't even know about his brother's son. So he don't know when they were born, and he don't know when Rebecca was born either. He doesn't know. The Bible doesn't tell you no time when Rebecca was born. Not at all. Not at all. It tells you nowhere where Rebecca was born at all. It doesn't. Even if you go to another version of the Bible and you read it, it didn't tell you that what time he was born. I could hear that someone was born, but that doesn't mean that I know when they were born. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't tell when he was born. Let's use another version in case these clowns. So let's use this and see. So indeed, Micah also had born children to your brother Nahor. So no time did it say when these children were born. Uz is his first. Sorry. Uz is his firstborn. Buz his brother. Kemuel, the father of Aram. She said, Hazu, Peldash, Jible, and Bethuel. He begot Rebekah. He didn't say when Rebekah was born. He begot Rebekah, but he didn't say when he was born, when Rebekah was born. Never says when Rebekah was born. And never at all. Never says. So only a clown, a stupid donkey, would derive from there that Rebekah was born at this time. Only a stupid donkey would come up with the idea that Rebekah was born when Abram was hearing about the story of the birth of his nephews. Abram didn't even know about the birth of his nephew. He was just his nephews, and he was just told about. He was just told about his nephew. No, look how many nephews he have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nephews. And he just heard about their birth. And then he says, Bethuel begot Rebekah. It doesn't mean that Rebekah was just born. When the Bible says, and this one begot this one, and this one begot this one, it is not telling you that they just was born. If you look through the Bible and it says, and Jacob begot, let's read something. Jacob, Jacob begot, Begot. Let's show you. So if you read into the Bible, let's do the Bible verse. You read in the Bible and it says like this. And he says something like this. Let's see. Genesis. Okay. Right here. Why it won't pull up? Okay. So if you read into the Bible and it says something like, I don't know why it's showing that instead. I just want to show you, okay, a verse. Oh, I could see why. Typo. So let me show you something in from the Bible. I just read it for you guys. And you can't tell when these people are born. You cannot tell. Okay, let's read this one. This make more sense right here. Okay, from the book of Matthew 1 verse 2. When it says when it says Bethuel begat Rebecca, it is same as saying, and Abraham was the father of Isaac, Isaac was the father of Jacob, Jacob was the father of Judah, and Judah is brothers. When the Bible is talking about and this person begat this person and this person begat this person, it's not telling you when they were born. It's literally not telling you when they were born. It's not telling you when they were born. It's actually telling you that these people have children, have these kids. It's not telling you, oh, they were born at this moment. So when it says Bethuel begot Rebecca, it's not telling you like, oh, Rebecca was born at this very point in time. No. It don't tell you the exact birth date or birth time of these people. That's not what he's doing. But what this clown decided to do is take the Bible out of its context to sell a lie. Because if you're looking at if you look at this, he's talking about a whole bunch of people that were born, but he don't tell when these people were born. So for him to use that, it is crazy. I was trying to find a verse where it says, and this person begot this person. But anyway, let's continue with this idiot called Uthman, because he's going to reveal himself and show how stupid he is. So let's continue with the shake, the milkshake.
Right. So Isaac was 40, according to this, when he married Rebecca, who was 3 years old.
Where does the Bible tell you the age of Rebecca? Nowhere. It just says that, and this person begot. Like if somebody is saying that, and Islam is a mess, begot Sam, which is the name of my son. Islam is a mess, begot Sam. You know, it's just like saying have. That's what it literally saying. If somebody is saying Islam is a mess, have a son called Sam. That doesn't mean that my son was born today. If you heard the news say my brothers didn't know that I have a son called Sam, and they are hearing for the first time that I have a son called Sam, and someone tell them, you know, your brother have a son called Sam. He have a son. He begot a son called Sam. That doesn't mean that my son was born that day that they are hearing about it, because my son is almost 3 years old. In May, he'll be 3 years old. May of next year, he'll be 3 years old. So that doesn't mean that my son was born that very moment they're hearing about it. But when you're talking to a clown like Uthman, that's what you're going to get for him. A Bible says, and this person begot this person, means that the person was born the same day. You know, all over the Bible, you see this, and this person begot this person, and this person begot, and this person begot. All over the Bible, you will see that. But it doesn't tell you when they were begot. Just like it says, Bethuel begot Rebecca, but it doesn't tell you what day, what time, what year Rebecca was born. But a clown like Uthman would Jewish tradition. And the funny thing about this clown is what his Quran says. Let me show you what his Quran says, and just to show you how stupid this clown is. Surah 5, verse 51. Let me show you what his Quran says. Sahih International, Surah 5, verse 51. O you who believe, do not take the Jews and the Christians as allies. But why is this clown allied? Why is this clown allied with Jewish concept here? Can somebody tell me why is this clown allied with what the Jews are saying right here? Why? Why is he allied with this? When the Bible does not ally, the Torah does not ally with what the Jews are saying here. Why is it that this clown ally with this? Why is it? Because this is not what the Bible is saying. The Bible is telling you that Abraham heard that Bethuel begot Rebecca. No time, she could be 15 years old. She could have been 15-year-old at that time. She could have been 18-year-old at that time when they heard. And let's continue with this clown and see how much of a stupid clown this guy is as we reveal him.
So one more time.
40-year-old
married Rebecca at 3 years old.
At 3, and again,
according to
because I'm a Muslim, they might be like, oh, you're trying to misread our text, and that's why Rami has now brought up a screenshot. And this one I'm going to discuss. This is you have the Aramaic or the Hebrew text right there. This is a commentary on the Old Testament or the Torah by Rabbi Basha ibn Ashir. And
do Christians see the rabbis better than the Muslim? No, they are same liars. And did Jesus look at these rabbis and think that these rabbis were good people? No. What did Jesus say to them? What did he? You hypocrite, Isaiah prophesied correctly about you. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. They teach as doctrine the precepts of men. Because you cannot find what the stupid rabbis say in the Torah. You cannot find this in the Torah. Reading the Torah, you cannot see where Rebecca is 3 years old. You cannot see that. You cannot add up these numbers and come to the conclusion that Rebecca was 3 years old. When? Why? Because it doesn't give the birth date of Rebecca. He says, Bethuel begot Rebecca. He didn't tell you what time he begot him. If he says, and when Isaac was 37 years old, Bethuel begot Rebecca, then you would know that Rebecca is 3 years old. You would know that. But he didn't say that when Isaac was 37-year-old, Bethuel begot Rebecca. He didn't say that. He just said Bethuel begot Rebecca. We don't know when she was begotten. But a clown like Uthman ibn Farooq will always be a clown. Illogical, stupid, naive, reprobatical, if there is such a word. Donkey. Dawa donkey. This guy don't care about truth whatsoever. He have no mind for truth. I do believe that he's the kind of guy where the Bible says, let me show you. Let me tell you. It's sad. In Jeremiah 11, verse 14, I do believe this. This is my belief. When your mind is so corrupted and gone so far. In Jeremiah 11, verse 14, God said, do not pray for these people or offer any plea of petition for them, because I will not listen when they call to me in the time of their distress. I believe this guy blasphemed about God and the Holy Spirit so much that he reached to a point where his wickedness have come to a full, and he cannot do nothing but tell lies and do wickedness. This clown. When you sit in California and you sit and at what point did you devise that I'm gonna cut myself? I'm gonna pretend as if somebody cut me in my belly. What time did you devise that? At what point in your life did you come up with this idea like, oh, I'm gonna do this just to promote Islam? What time did you do that? What time did you come up with the concept that this young Christian guy came to me and having a dialogue with me, and I'm gonna copy and paste a footnote at the bottom of a hadith and throw it into the hadith to bring him? Did you devise that your mind is at this point where you don't care what is in public and what is not in public, because your mind is gone, your wickedness is at the fullness? I do believe that Zakir Naik, Ahmed Didat, and this clown, I believe that their wickedness is at the fullness. They have done too much evil. They have done too much evil, tell too much lies, that their wickedness have come to a full. And that's what I do believe when it comes to these clowns. So listen to this now. Let's continue with this clownery from this buffoon.
This here, if you look at the scroll down, you will find that he clearly says, and this is a Jewish classic accepted commentary very early on.
Accepted by who? Accepted by who? This is how clownery this idiot is. That his own Quran is telling him, do not, oh, you who believe, do not take the Jews and the Christians as allies. But this guy allied himself with a person who said, oh, it's a classic. He's acting like Muhammad. While Muhammad was against the Jews, he was stealing from the Jews. Anybody who know the verse about the one who killed an innocent is like he killed all of mankind, Muhammad stole that from the Jewish Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin 4.5. Muhammad stole that from the Jews. That's not found in the Tanakh. Anywhere in the Tanakh, the Torah, the Tanakh, nowhere in the Torah or the Tanakh. It was a Jewish law that they wrote themselves, but Muhammad stole it and put it inside the Quran. And this is how Muhammad was saying, don't take the Jews as your allies. But guess what he was doing? Aligning, because the word allies come with align. He was aligning himself with the Jews, while at the same time he was hating on the Jews. You know, Aisha was at home one day, two Jewish women came in and said, you know, you will be punished in the grave. Brave, they were brave. Tell Aisha, you know, you will be punished in the grave. Aisha didn't want to believe them. So when the donkey Muhammad came home, Aisha said to the donkey, 2 Jewish women just came by and told me that you will be punished in the grave. And the donkey said, Aisha said, the donkey, I've never prayed for to get rid of the punishment in the grave until then. And then later Muhammad said, it was revealed to me that you will be punished in the grave. Revealed from who? He stole it from the Jews. Till these clowns are making videos where they say the grave will squeeze you and the grave will do this to the grave. Squeeze what? What is the grave going to squeeze? Your life is gone, so when the grave is squeezing you, you don't have any life, but the grave is squeezing what? What is the grave squeezing? This is the clownery called Islam. Nothing but buffoonery and stupidity. And this is why I always pray to the God who give us wisdom to decipher things and to analyze and to take things that are logical and make sense, and to know that Islam is a religion that makes no sense whatsoever. Because if this is their biggest tool to go up against this 3-month-old Christian, this Uthman, the lion donkey, is the biggest tool to go up against young Don. And look at the brain of Uthman. Uthman, oh, because the rabbi said it, it must be true. Because the rabbi said it, it must be true. The same people who poisoned Muhammad with a goat stew, with a lamb stew. But you see the stupidity of Islam. While Muhammad was saying, do not take the Jews and the Christians as your allies. Guess what? When he ravish and destroy the community, steal their women and rape their women and rob them and murder their men, shortly afterward, this clown was eating goat meat from a Jewish woman and got poisoned. So it is the same mindset that this clown Uthman have. He's taking his spiritual food from a rabbi and he's getting poisoned. He's getting poisoned by that rabbi. He's taking his spiritual food from a rabbi that when you read the Bible, you don't see what this clown is seeing in the Bible. And let's let him continue. And then we will analyze it from a different angle, is stupidity. Because listen to me, man. I know my brother Chris Claus, I talk about that with God Logic and a couple brothers, a couple more brothers and sisters last night. They had touched on this topic. I was at work, so I couldn't watch the whole thing because you're going back and forth between things. You can't, because, you're taking care of people. Only when I'm in the at the cart, I could watch. When I'm at the med cart, I could watch the video. But when I'm moving in between, I didn't see everything. But I know you cover it, so you guys could go to Chris Claus' video and you will see how Chris Claus handled the clown. But me, I have a different approach because I'm fearless. I was born this way. Maybe the Jamaican in me. It's the Jamaican in me. Yeah. That nation in me. We are fierce people. Anyway, so look what happened here. Look what happened here. Look what the clown is missing.
This is not something we've come up with recently. This was, I think, written. Rabbi Rabiu was, I think, around 1255 to 1340. This is a few hundred years old.
Few hundred years old. What does that have to do with anything? It's the same people that Muhammad told this clown not to take as his ally. But just like Muhammad the idiot, he's aligning himself with these Jewish people. And it's the same. If these people know so much, why is the clown Muhammad saying that you will fight the Jews and the Jews, you will kill the Jews and the Jews will hide behind a rock, and the rock will say, hey, Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him. And they run behind a tree, and the tree will say, hey, Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me, come over here and kill him. And the only tree that will not speak out against the Jew is a tree called the GH, whatever the name of the tree is. I don't know, but because Muhammad was a clown, you don't see the Jews planting up a lot of that kind of tree around their homes, because the Jews don't believe in this kind of stupidity to the point where they're scared of this stuff. And this is what, even though the Jews, they don't accept Jesus as the Messiah. And that's the problem that we have with the Jews, is they don't accept Jesus as the Messiah. If the Jews had accepted, when I said the Jews, I mean some of them, because there's many Jews who accept Jesus as the Messiah. If they had, we wouldn't be having this discussion most of the time, because these clowns could never use the Jews. And most of the time, these clowns would never be able to use the Jews against Christianity or anything. But do you see what he's using? The man's one-man idea, not the Bible itself, but a man's idea. What a man believed was being said. But when you look at it yourself, because you have a brain of your own that God Almighty, Jesus Christ Almighty gave to you, you look at and this is why I know that Jesus is the God above Allah. Why I know that? Because I trust in Jesus, and Jesus have the ability to give me the mental capacity to think better than the best of these clowns. This is their big dog that they go to, Uthman ibn Farooq. And look at me, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not David Wood, I'm not Sam Shamoun, I'm not Anthony Rogers. I'm none of those guys. But even me sitting right here on my computer could look at it and say, this guy is a stupid donkey. This guy is a headless goat. Just looking at it like that, you could see. Now let's show you something. Let's get out of the stupidity about the rabbi. And I'm going to show you something from the Bible itself, why we know that this guy is nothing but a headless clown and a donkey. So let's share the Bible itself, because the Bible speaks louder than anything else. So we're going to share the Bible, and we look at certain things that the Bible teaches us, and we know that this guy is nothing but a clown. So all my people here, God bless you, and thank you for tuning in and watching the Jamaican rant. I'm not a good-looking guy, so I know it must be hard looking in my face. But I love myself. I'm a lion out here. You don't see a beautiful lion too much. Lion got the mane and they're rough looking. And a house cat is beautiful. I'm not a house cat. I'm a lion out here. Okay, so this is the Bible. And Genesis 24. And this is how you read the Bible. Abram was now old and well in age. So he was old and well in age. And the Lord had blessed him in every way. He said to his chief servant in his household, the one in charge of all he had, put your hand under my thigh. I want you to swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not get a wife, that you will not get a wife for my son from the daughters of Canaanite. So he said, you will not get a wife for my son from the daughter of Canaanite, among whom I am living, but will go to my country and my own relative and get a wife for my son Isaac. Listen to that. So this man is sending his servant to get a wife for his son. The servant asks him, what if the woman is unwilling to come with me to this land? So he was sending his servant to get a child. He was sending his servant to get a woman. He said, what if the woman is not willing to come with me to this land? Shall I then take your son back to the country you came from? Make sure that you do not take my son back here, Abram said. So Abram is saying, please do whatever you can. Get my son a wife from my people and from my relatives. He don't want his son to be married to pagans. So he said, get my son this from my relative, people who are informed about God. The Lord, the God of heaven, who brought me out of my father's household and my native land, and who spoke to me and promised me an oath, saying, to your offspring I will give this land. He will send his angel before you so that you can get a wife for my son from there. If the woman is unwilling to come with you, then you will be released from this oath of mine. Only do not take my son back here. So he says, hey, even if the woman is unwilling to marry, to leave him there. Leave him there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master and swore an oath to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camel and left. You know how many water can a camel drink? A whole bunch of water. And there's a reason why I say that. 10 camel. 10 of his master's camel. Taking with him all kinds of goods from his master. He set out for Aram Naharaim, if that's the way it's spelled, Naharaim, and made his way to the town of Nahor. Notice, Nahor was Abram's brother. So he go to the town where Nahor lived. He had the camel kneel down near the well beside the town. It was towards evening. Notice this. The time the women go out to draw water. Women. Not babies like Aisha, not 9-year-old babies, not 6-year-old babies, but women. Then he prayed, O Lord, God of my master Abraham, give me success today and show kindness to my master Abraham. See, I am standing beside this spring, and the daughters of the town people are coming out to draw water. When you see the daughters, there is something. It's not just like, oh, little babies. Why I know that? There's a verse we talk about the daughters of Jerusalem. You know, daughters just mean that women. The daughters of the people mean women. That's what it means. And anyone born of those people. So they are the one who come out to draw water. The women came out to draw water. May it be that when I say to a girl, notice a girl, please let down your jar that I will have a drink, and she says, drink, I'll water your camel too. Let her be the one you have chosen for your servant Isaac. But by this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master. So according to this clown, Uthman, this was a 3-year-old child, but here is a grown man praying that a 3-year-old child, quote unquote 3-year-old child, will say, I will water your camel too. I got a 3-year-old granddaughter, and all she do is jump on my back, and she will say some things, make some sense sometimes and stuff. But she ain't gonna say, I'll water your camel too. Notice what the man prayed. And make, please, he's gonna say to the woman, please let down your jar that I may have a drink. And so this child is gonna let down the jar into the well and draw the water up. 3 years old. Man, this is like what his name? Yasir Qadhi. Remember Yasir Qadhi says the girls in the days of Muhammad, they mature quicker. These 3 years old must be like must be so big that they were could let down a jar into a well and pull it back up, and have the mindset, their mind must be so mature that they could say, I will water your camel too, and let her be the one you have chosen for your servant Isaac. By this I will know that you have shown kindness to your master. Before he had finished praying, Rebecca came out with her jar on her shoulder. So here it is, a little girl, a 3-year-old, what a clown, came out with a jar on her shoulder, and she was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Micah. She was the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor. The girl, and when we say girl, we know a girl doesn't have to be a baby. A girl could be 15 years old. A girl could be 16 years old. A girl could be 18. A girl could be 17 years old. Look at this. The girl was very beautiful. And why would a man looking at a 3-year-old say, oh, the girl was very beautiful? Only in the mind of a Muslim. Only in the mind of a Muslim. I remember the fake sheikh from Houston, what his name is, the fake sheikh from Houston, Bomber. He said, for Muslim men to be walking around with children, 9-year-old in their mind, paraphrasing what he said, that disgusting. He actually telling us that his prophet was a disgusting bastard. And one woman was on apostate prophet, a Muslim woman was on apostate prophet podcast, who says, is a Muslim woman. She says there are sickos. I think she actually used the word sicko or something like that in Alabama and in New Orleans or something like that, marrying to having sex with little girls. But you should not let your daughter do it unless they are marrying to a prophet. The lady actually said that. Look it up. Where apostate prophet is talking to a Muslim woman about the age of Aisha. And listen what she says. She says there are psycho, I'm paraphrasing her. I think she used the word sicko or psycho or something like that. Down in Alabama and other places who are marrying to, who are having sex with 9-year-old and babies, but you should not let your daughter do it unless they are marrying to a prophet. Literally, she's telling you that Muhammad was a psycho, a sicko. So the girl was very beautiful, a virgin. So wow. So people were looking at a 3-year-old and say, oh, it was very beautiful, a virgin. And listen what it says. No man had ever lain with her. Wow. People were to say, oh, no man have ever lain with this 3-year-old. This is the mind of a Muslim, and this is the same demon that is in these rabbis, because he said the rabbi is from the 12th century. These are people who deny the Messiah. The same demon that is leading them is leading this idiot called Uthman ibn Farooq. The same stupid demon that have Muhammad running from the cave, screaming like a little girl, chased by bees. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. I fear for myself. Something is wrong with me, Aisha. No, Khadija. Something is wrong with me, Khadija. I fear for myself. Cover me, cover me, cover me. My back needs to be covered because I got cold chills running down my spine. What a clown. So the same demon would make you read something like this and says the girl was beautiful, a virgin, no man had ever lain with her, and she's 3 years old. Only in Islam. But do you remember what Mimi Ijab says? Let me show you it's the same demon. I'm going to show you it's the same demon. I'm going to show you something that Mimi Ijab says, and just to show you that the same demon. So our brother, Young Dam, was right. It is the same demon. If you look at what our brother Young Dam says in the video, let me show you something. Mimi Ijab. Show you something real fast. Let me find it real fast. I'll find it for you real fast. Okay, Quranonly. I think some people have already seen this. Okay, let me see. If I put 5-year-old. 5-year-old. If I put 5-year-old, it might come up. Let me show you what Muhammad Ijab says. Let me show you what he says. Okay, here we go. All right. So let me show you it's the same demon. The same demon that possessed Mimi Ijab and possessed Muhammad is possessing Uthman ibn Farooq. Look, when you believe that, when you read the Bible is telling you that it's okay to have sex with a 3-year-old. This is the same demon that is in this clown. Look at Mimi Ijab says.
If you look just at the Quran, you will get the indication that you can have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old.
Now you tell me now, my beloved people, if that's not the same demon that is telling Uthman ibn Farooq that when he read the Bible, and the Bible is telling you all this thing about Rebecca is 3 years old. Look what the Bible is saying about Rebecca, and this clown believes that Rebecca is 3 years old. Look at what the Bible is saying. The girl was very beautiful, a virgin, no man had ever lain with her. She went down to the spring, filled her jar, and came up again. So me, a grown man, with the mind of a grown man who have a wife that is 1 year older than I am, is going to read this and say, this is talking about a 3-year-old child. Uthman, you leave your brain somewhere and substitute your brain for Islam. You're a clown, you're a donkey, you're retarded, you need to give up. You're a liar. And anytime I make a video about you, I will always show people from the beginning that you're nothing but a clown and a liar. Just getting at you and say, Uthman lied again, guess what? That's not sufficient. Show, because there's new people, new subscribers, new people coming into this thing and seeing these things. They need to know why we are saying that you are a liar. Uthman, you're a liar, you're a clown, you're a nobody. Babies can refute you. You're a liar, you're a clown. You're a nobody at all. They blow you up like a balloon, and they don't tie you. They didn't tie you, and they let you go. Clown, you are deflating. You are a deflating clown. They blow you up like a balloon, and God logic came along and used a pin and peck you, and Sam Shamon and Chris Claus and David Wood, they all come along and use pins and peck you like that. And guess what? You are deflating, you stupid clown. You're deflating, you illiterate nincompoop. Look at this. Servant hurried to meet her and said, please give me a little water from your jar. And look what the 3-year-old gonna say. Drink, my lord, she said, and quickly lowered her jar to her hand and gave him a drink. So a 3-year-old said, drink, my lord, and lower her hand and give him a drink. After she had given him a drink, she said, now look at what the 3-year-old gonna do. After he had given him a drink, the 3-year-old said, I'll draw water for your camel too until they have finished drinking. Notice, until they have finished drinking. You know how much water a camel drink? It's because a camel not only drink for their stomach. And how many camels were there? Ta-da! That's what my brother Great Commission put a video up there yesterday where Hamza said, ta-da! Man, like a little kid, he said, ta-da! Man, look at this. The servant took 10 of the master's camel. So here it is, a 3-year-old baby is going to use jar of water and fill 10 camel. 10 camel. A grown man is going to allow a 3-year-old baby to fill jar with water and feed 10 camel. And listen what she says, until they have finished drinking. And you know how long a camel, I used to have cows. You know, I didn't have them for myself. My father have cows. And my neighbor have cows. You know, and actually my first job is working on a farm with cows. And a cow we will fill these, they have these galvanized drums, and they cut them in two, and they use them for drinking thing for the cow. And you will fill one, and one cow would walk up to that galvanized thing, and it's so big, I'm telling you, there's a lot of water in it, and put her head or his head, if it's a bull, and put his head down into it and started drinking. And when you look at the amount of water that one cow drink, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. You'll be like, wow. And we're not talking about cow. We're talking about camel. Camels, 10 camels. A little 3-year-old baby is gonna water 10 camels. And listen what happened. So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough, ran back to the well to draw more water, and she drew enough for all his camel, all 10 camel, and the man. We don't say in a word, the man watched her closely to learn whether or not the Lord had made his journey successful. So here it is. This man is watching this little baby, a pure little baby. Oh, I'm watching. And then look at this. When the camel had finished drinking, the man took out a gold nose ring weighing a becker and 2 gold bracelets weighing 10 shekels. Then he said, whose daughter are you? Please tell me, is there room in your father's house for us to spend the night? So you're going to ask a 3-year-old, is there room in your father's house for us to spend the night? Right now, my little 3-year-old come here and said to, is there room in your mother's house for us to spend the night? Would you ask a 3-year-old if you can come home and spend the night in their parents' house? Only in the head of the clown Uthman, where is God in his God Quran, you could marry to a 5-year-old. And guess what? Not only 5-year-old, you could marry to a 3-year-old. Mimi Ijab is just very kind when he leveled it off to 3-year-old, to 5-year-old. He just being kind to Allah. Allah Akbar. Allah is a rat. Allah is a rat, like a real. When I say rat, I'm talking about the urban term for a rat. If you look at what the urban if you look up the urban term for a rat, Allah is really a rat. Because what kind of God would put that stupidity into the mind of a 21st century man that he believed that it's okay to be talking the stupidity that of an idiotic rabbi who without reading the text for himself and draw to logical conclusion. Then listen to this. She answered, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of, listen to this. This is a 3-year-old. Listen to this. I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, born to Nahor. Do you what a 3-year-old, man. Man, that was a beautiful 3-year-old. She is so intelligent. She is more intelligent than the idiot Ibn Farooq. And she added, we have plenty of straw and fodder. Listen to this. Listen to this 3-year-old. We have plenty of straw and fodder, as well as room for you to spend the night. Wow. Man, this 3-year-old is wiser than Allah. People, do you see the stupidity they call Islam? The clownery, the dogness, the dilapidated mindset, the depraved mind, the mind that need renovation. Their mind need renovation. They need the Holy Spirit to renovate them and take them out of the slavery, the mental slavery that they are into. Can you imagine this clown in the 21st century? But he's a Hollywood actor anyway. What do you expect from a Hollywood actor? What do you expect from a Hollywood actor? If you watch these Hollywood actors and see them acting on TV, some of them you see swinging on ropes and calling them Spider-Man and so you would expect that kind of stupidity from a Hollywood actor. And we know that Ibn Farooq is a Hollywood actor. The guy staged some crap at a gas station where he maybe employ a guy to act rough with him, because that's all you see. And then in the video, he said he tried to cut me, or he tried to stab me, but then you got to stab. If he tried to stab you, that means he did not stab you. How did you end up with a stab? Reality is not actuality, clown. This guy, Uthman Ibn Farooq, is a clown. He's a clown. And to show you that the three stooges are bigger clowns than Uthman, they keep taking Uthman to their platform. They keep taking Uthman to their platform. Dilapidated mindset. Totally dilapidated mindset, man. Needed refurbishing and renovation. Clowns, idiotic clowns. And to think that they would say Rebecca was 3 years old. So a 3-year-old have more sense than Uthman and his God. Can you imagine? Uthman is one of the greatest minds that these clowns God can provide. Uthman is one of the greatest mind that these clowns God can provide, to the point where these three stooges believe it is appropriate to take Uthman to your platform. Man, to take Uthman to your platform. Uthman and Kenny Balmer is they're like a rundown house that need renovation. Say Uthman is a I love that one, my brother. Oh man. Do you see, man? It is crazy. I said, cover me because I am embarrassed that I was choked out cold. There was a demon in the cave choking him MMA, giving him UFC, teaching him UFC style. The demon is the first one to invent that UFC. Mo Ija basically said, ignore the Quran if you don't want to be a rapist and a pedo. Totally. My brother, man. Thank you guys for being here, man. I love you all. This is the place where we are blunt and sharp, and we don't take no prisoners. We are not here to sugarcoat nothing. We just talk it just like how we see it. She says, a 3-year-old received proper home training. A 3-year-old have more sense than Aisha. And Aisha have more sense than Muhammad, because Aisha could tell Muhammad, he seems like your Lord able to fulfill your desire. This is one incredible 3-year-old. Very, very incredible, man. We have never seen a 3-year-old. Man, I don't know. I wish I could get my 3-year-old granddaughter to be on the level of that. She be cooking dinner in a minute. Oh boy. Yeah, thank you. That's the name of the tree. The Gaga tree. The Jewish tree is called the Judaism. The tree that convert to Judaism is called the Gagat. Muhammad was a madman and caused these clowns to be crazy that they don't even use their brain. The rocks of the Jews seem like the rocks of the Jews. My Crunchy says those rocks and trees sound so gay, brother. There's a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him. There's a Jew hiding behind me. Muslim, come and kill him, man. Oh man. What a catastrophe. We have never seen any. It says Khadija and Warika were the real prophetess and prophet of Islam. Muhammad was just their mascot. I agree. And the Jews use Muhammad as a mascot to laugh at in this, because you see, sensible people can laugh at Muhammad because the Jews use him like a footstool. No wonder he ate the Jews. Everything they say he copied. And you see this clown Uthman is doing the same thing, coming here trying to copy Jews, man. Man, look at Fibbing Footnote. Then he says Islamophobe. This donkey should never use the word Islamophobe. What is wrong with him? People are speaking the truth about Islam and they are Islamophobe. What have you seen me say here that is not showing that these guys are clowns? Now let's continue and see about Rebecca a little bit more. Then the man bowed down and worshipped the Lord, saying, "Praise be the Lord, the God of my master Abram, who has not abandoned his kindness and faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has laid on me the journey to the house of my master's relative." The girl ran and told her mother also about these things. So this little girl, 3-year-old, run and said, "Mama, I just bought 10 camels and I invite a man home." Now Rebecca had a brother named Laban, and he hurried out to the man at the spring. It's over. It's over. It don't even make sense. Read it anymore. See, look at this. Straws and fodder were brought to the camel. Rebecca even know about straws and fodder. A 3-year-old say, hey, let's go feed the straw and fodder. Can't even talk real good. But oh man. Do you see that? Oh boy. Only in Islam. And there is another clown that I want to talk about, because they are on this young dumb trip, and there is another clown that I actually want to talk about. But before I talk about the clown, let me remind you what the guy Sneeko said about. Let me remind you what the guy Sneaker said about the clown Uthman. Let me remind you what this guy Sneeko, this guy here, says about Uthman. Listen.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
Uthman is an expert on the Quran and the Bible, and I am Prophet Muhammad. My wife works about 2 miles away from here, or 2.5 miles. I'm gonna run to my wife right now and scream, cover me, because Jibril is right now choking me. Do you hear what this guy say, man? What is wrong with this guy? Is he drinking too much cow's milk? Or he need milk? What is it? He need milk? Give him some milk.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible, which is...
Look at the expert on the Quran and the Bible. Even when he's out with his kids in the park, look at the way he dressed to go to the park. The Quran, the expert in the Quran and the Bible. What he's doing with a... They plan. He planned this. This is planned. Why is he dressed so like this to go to the park? Why? I don't know about that shake. Shake your shake. Milkshake, man. This guy is a milkshake. His milkshake bring other foods to the yard. Foods to the yard. Foods to the yard. This guy says, man, you are an expert.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
Wow. Boy, you need to stop eating the food that you are eating, man. Something is wrong with your headpiece. Work your way up, man. Not because you got subscribers, that doesn't mean that you are using your headpiece right. Expert, do you see what this expert have done? This expert on the Quran and the Bible decided to go to a Jewish source that have no bearing on the Bible to teach the Bible. What a clown. You're an expert on the Quran and the Bible. Ooh, wow. One more time.
So you're an expert on the Quran and the Bible.
Oh, wow. Young Dom must be saying like, expert. Man is an expert on the Quran and the Bible, man. Man, oh wow! If I am a student on the Bible and the Quran, and I can demolish this dumb clown like this, can you imagine? This is the expert, expert on the Quran and the Bible. Wow, what a beautiful expert. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys something. Another idiot who decided, like, okay, I'm gonna take on young Don. So we're gonna show you that. If I can find that video, if not, I will say peace out, and peace is what we're talking about. You know, but I want, oh yes, here it is. I just want to show you a little piece of what how these guys will come with their acrobatic act and try to undo things. So the brother Young Dom make the claim that the Quran have scientific mistakes and stuff like that. And one of the scientific mistake is that the sperm came from the backbone and the ribs. The sperm came from the backbone and the ribs, something like that. So these guys decided, okay, we're gonna get another expert who we also know is a clown, and we are gonna undo this guy's what this guy is saying. So we are gonna see another I said with Gucci shoes. he came out. Footman is choking on his own footnotes. hey, look now. So let's share this one now. This is another one where they decided, okay, we're gonna smash Young Don, and you will see what the name of the video is. Look at the name of their video, Young Don, and they put that in S big capitalized. Get schooled, and schooled is capitalized. But look at the three clowns who are saying people get schooled. The stooges. How do they know when somebody gets schooled? Let me tell you something. Young Don make a statement, and as I say, my love for the Bible. One of my favorite verse in the Bible is the verse in the book of Proverbs that says, when one man make an argument, he appears as if he is right until another come along and cross-examine him. When Young Dom make his argument, he just make a argument based on what he already know, but he did not state any citation or anything to support his argument. But this clown here, he's gonna have a whole bunch of quote unquote support for his argument. But we will see when we look at the hadith. But you will see that they are so deceptive that they will overlook the hadith. They will not tell you what the hadith says. They will go and tell you what the scholars says, but they will never tell you what the hadith says. The hadith is above the scholar. The hadith is coming from Muhammad himself, so it's above the scholars. The scholars cannot override a hadith. They can't. And the hadith is very, very plain. Very, very plain. So we are going to get into some things, man. And we are going to show you guys how to catch a rat, and Allah Akbar. Allah is a rat. So this is how we catch a rat. We set a trap for them. So when we go through this conversation here, you will see where they're talking about I think it's Surah 86 verse 5 to 7. So it's Surah 86, I think it is, verse 5 to 7, that they will be talking about. So let me see if I catch it at the right spot.
Actually, first, before I even start, I want to say,
oh yeah, am I showing? Yeah.
That this stream is going to be completely just intellectual, strictly intellectual, academic.
Do you notice what he says? It's intellectual and academic, because he is one of the most naive of these two right here. But he is the most naive of all of them. Intellectual and academic. But what these people don't know, in academia in the West and academia from the East is two different academia. And this is why Yashir Qadi could say there's all in the narrative. When it comes to Western academia, it is totally different. You cannot come to the West trying to sell the West the same craziness from Eastern Muslim country academia, because a lot of these clowns in Muslim country cannot question what they learn. You see a lot of these Muslim dawah preacher telling you learn something like you learn without questioning, or you do, that's the mentality of a cult. The mentality of a cult is they tell you stuff and you question it not. The Jehovah's Witness was like that. You can't go to them and question anything, then they next thing they start warning you, then they disfellowship you from their cult. And this is the mindset. So you're gonna see this guy come with a lot of Eastern academic stuff, but what he's gonna do, ignore the hadith. So let's listen to him.
We're going to talk about science and philosophy of science. Some of the things that Don has mentioned, we're not going to sit here and insult Don, right? Like he does to some other people and like other people do to him. We don't want to.
We are better than Don. We are better than Don. But our prophet says, when you meet the Christian and the Jews and the pathway, force them, don't greet them first, and force them to the narrowest part of the road. But we are better than Don, and we are better than Don, but we follow a prophet who have sex with a 9-year-old, and I'm so better than Don. And Don is doing things that and his podcast that I never do. What a clown, man.
See anything in the comments that's insulting towards him. We don't want anyone going to his stream and insulting him. I don't know if he's live or not, but his videos and that stuff, just khalas, it is what it is. We don't like the things that he says, but we deal with them in a proper manner, inshallah, as we will see with Sheikh Hamza Zortzis today. And without further ado, let's get into it. You guys.
That's a milkshake. So here is the milkshake trying to brainwash. You see, the first shake I show you that is a liar. Now we're gonna show you another shake. I would not say from this that he is a liar, but he's a deceiver, because I'm sure he know about the hadith and what the hadiths are saying.
Want to just play the first clip here? You cool with that?
Yeah, let's go. Bismillah.
All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All right, so I don't think you guys can be able to hear it, but I'll play it for the viewers, and then we'll just go from there. Bismillah.
Scientific error number 1. Surah 86 verses or ayahs 5-7. Let the people consider that they were what they were created from. They were created from a spurting fluid stemming from between the backbone and the rib cage. Now, there are dozens of scientific errors in the Quran. I just picked 4 of what I found to be the funniest ones. This one is hilarious. So the Quran is saying that sperm originates from between the backbone and the rib cage. This is that area right there. For those of you who can't see, that's a smaller image right there. This is where it supposes that sperm originates. Now, we know biology says that your sperm comes from where? Your testicles. If you were to remove your testicles, you will no longer be able to produce sperm. It ain't got nothing to do with what's going on up here. Can we all agree that this is the rib cage, and this long thing coming from the neck all the way down to the top of the pelvis is the backbone? And so what is in between these two things? If you were to draw a cross section, y'all remember doing Venn diagrams in math class, it would be somewhere around this area.
somewhere around the lungs, heart, air.
Wow, Allah is so intelligent. That's why I said Rebecca have more sense than Allah.
All right. So initially, and I hope everyone can still hear us, I think there's a little bit of lag, but hopefully it's good. Regardless, inshallah, after the stream, we'll get it dealt with. So he uses the argument that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is what Don claims, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that basically sperm is created from between the backbones and the ribs. So, Sheikh, is that what Allah says in the Quran? And what is the Muslim response to this?
Okay, good. So I've done a formal presentation, but I'll have to skip all of these slides just to go to the responses, because in the beginning I talk about the Quran, the philosophy of science, and
You think that's better if we cover that first?
well, we can, but since he's raised this, let me just address this, and then we could go from the beginning, maybe. Yeah.
And we'll come back to the points one by one too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where are we? Okay.
All right. While you're finding it, Sheikh, everyone in the comments is
Okay.
saying Fareed
No worries.
responds, sent us. So shout out to Fareed responds. May Allah bless you, Akhi. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for sending viewers here.
Fareed is the Don. He is the Don. That's all I have to say.
Farid is the Don. Do you see what kind of a platform they have? Farid is such a donkey, but they call him Farid the Don. This is the kind of you could see Uthman and Farid. Farid is like a nobody. Farid is just trying to get back up there. And do you hear what they say? Do you see Uthman and Farid just showing you that this platform here, the three Muslims, are nothing but nothing less. That's what they are. Thoughtless people, man.
Also, Ali
Allah bless
Shabar donated $125. Thumbs up, guys. Let's enjoy what our friends
mashallah.
have to say. Allahumma ameen. Jazakallah khair, brother Ali. May Allah bless you. All right, Sheikh, take it away. Bismillah.
Good. So, by the way, we have a thing with the three Muslims. I told them I'm not a sheikh, which is obviously true, but they say it's a way of it's
term of
an
endearment.
expression of endearment. Yeah, yeah. So now henceforth I'm going to be called the protein sheikh.
Protein sheikh, not actual
man.
sheikh.
I had my protein ice cream just a few minutes
Oh
ago.
wow! So he's a protein shake. I thought it was a milkshake, but he's a protein shake. Okay, he's a little bit better than milkshake. Yeah, he actually is a little bit better than the idiot Uthman, man. But we're gonna see that E2 is deceptive.
Anyway, so chapter 86, verses 5 to 7, and this is about the error of where sperm comes from. Now, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in chapter 86, verses 5 to 7, man should reflect on what he was created from. He is created from a spurting fluid, then he emerges from between the backbone and the breastbone. And this is the summary of the contention. The Quran says that the sperm comes from between the backbone and the ribs. This is unscientific. The sperm comes from the testes or the testicles, which is not between the backbone and the ribs. Okay, now before I get into them, just fix my light. I do apologize. Need to lift this thing. There you go. Okay, so that's the contention. Now, there are various ways of answering this contention, but before I get into the answers, the scientific errors narrative. So people who say that there are errors in the Quran, scientific errors in the Quran, for them to show that the Quran is wrong, they would have to show either the opinion that they think or the view that they think the Quran is talking about is the only interpretation, and that interpretation goes against established science. Or what they should do is that all the valid different interpretations, all of them go against established science. In order for the scientific errors narrative to actually have any strength, they have to do that. And it's impossible because they would have to assume there's only one view, and that view is the view that they think the Quran is talking about, and they think that view is actually going against established science, and that is never the case with these accusations. or what they could try and do, that they may agree and say, fine, there are many interpretations, many views of what these words can mean. And each interpretation of the words or the verses or the verse, the different interpretations, they are all unscientific and they all go against established science. And again, that's even that's highly unlikely, more unlikely than the first option, because you have more views now, right? More different interpretations, and many of them are most likely to be accurate, or at least in line with a naked eye understanding of reality. So they can't, it's very, very difficult for the scientific errors in the Quran narrative to actually hold any weight because of what I've just said. So it's very important to mention this. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because it's very important that they may find scholars of the past, or even maybe of the present.
So if you notice what he's saying, the Quran doesn't mention the word sperm. But why? Because Muhammad did not know that there was anything called sperm. Muhammad believed that the fluid itself, the semen is what give rise to a child being born. That's what Muhammad believed. So at the end of the day, when this guy is saying that the Quran does not use the word sperm, the first part of the contention is misplaced. But we know more than what Muhammad knows. So we know that when Muhammad is saying that a fluid that is formed between the backbone man is created from that fluid that is formed from the backbone, we know that he's talking about sperm. So what he is doing is just wasting our time. We know, even though Muhammad didn't know of a thing called sperm, and he believed the semen was what caused the raise to a child, that give birth to a child, that caused a child that caused conception. We know that that's what Muhammad believed. But because we are wiser than Muhammad today, we have more knowledge than Muhammad and his God, we know that the semen contained a thing called sperm that caused conception. But Muhammad did not know that. So he was talking from his mere mouth, from his mere mind, what he see with his eyes, what he can see with his eyes. There is this liquid, and that's what people are born from. Because if you read the verse, it doesn't say, if you read the verse of the Quran, it doesn't say anything more than liquid. That's what it talk about. It talk about liquid. It doesn't say nothing about sperm or anything. It just said liquid, because that's what Muhammad. It actually says they were created from a spurting fluid, which is a liquid, stemming from between the backbone and the rib cage. This is what it says. So when we look at it here, we already had looked at something similar some time ago, but we just, because they're trying to put down this brother, we're going to go back over there. So when we look at it, this is verse 6, says they were created from a spurting fluid stemming from between the backbone and the rib cage. This is what it says. So at the end of the day, when he says Muhammad didn't say nothing about sperm, literally Muhammad is talking about sperm, even though Muhammad did not know sperm, because Muhammad believed the liquid was sperm. This is what Muhammad believed, that the liquid was literally what caused the child to be born. He didn't know more than that. So I don't know where this guy tried to go with this, but we're going to continue for a little bit, and I will show you some things. that all his explanation, if you guys even look at his explanation, make no sense because the hadith counteract everything that he's saying. And I will show you guys some hadith that counteract what he's saying.
They may have interpretations that go against established fact or established empirical reality or established science. That's not a problem. We're not denying the fact that we have a rich tradition over 1,000 years and thousands of scholars had different views based within a valid hermeneutical framework.
But do you notice what he's talking about? Scholars. This guy is not looking back at the hadith and to see what Muhammad means. He doesn't have the mind to look back at the hadith and see what Muhammad means. His mind is to look at what the scholars are saying. What the scholars are saying and what Muhammad say is not the same thing. And that's what this guy doesn't know. So if the scholars say one thing and then Muhammad is saying another thing, who do you believe? Do you believe the scholars above Muhammad or Muhammad above the scholars? And let's show you something that Muhammad say, and we're going to show more things that Muhammad say in the hadith, just to show you that Muhammad did not, the things that this guy is talking about, you know, is totally different from what Muhammad have in mind. Totally different. I will show you what Crunchy say in a minute, but it's totally different from what Muhammad have in mind. For example, this first hadith, we know about this hadith because it was when the Jewish man tests Muhammad, and Muhammad actually revealed himself as an idiot because the man, as I said before, tests Muhammad and asks Muhammad that it's three things which nobody knows except a prophet. So a wise person would never give answer to these. A wise person would never give answer to these because how would the man know if he's telling the truth? And when you look at the bottom of the hadith, you will see something. What Salim says, Abdullah bin Salim said, I testify that you are the messenger of Allah. How does Abdullah bin Salim know that? And this is, you see that Islam is based on stupidity, because the man asks a question and then he's gonna say, I testify that you are the messenger of Allah, or messenger of God. But the question that Muhammad give to the man, the answer that Muhammad give to the man is nobody knows the answers except a prophet. So how did that guy know the answer and testify that Muhammad was a prophet? It shows that this is even stupid. But look at what, and one of the questions that the man asks Muhammad. Why does a child resemble its father, and why does it resemble its maternal uncle? So you see what he asks Muhammad. But when you look at it, Muhammad's answer is show you something different. And notice who Muhammad told him. Gabriel. Gabriel has just told me of their answers. But if you go down here, and Muhammad answered, as for the resemblance of a child to his parents, let's show you guys. As for the resemblance of a child to his parents, if a man have sexual intercourse with his wife and get discharged first, the child will resemble the father. And if the woman get discharged first, the child will resemble her. What discharge is Muhammad talking about? So we see the even though this guy is talking about where the sperm and all these things, you're gonna see this guy go off into this stupidity where he say, oh, he's talking about the baby coming through with a gushing fluid or whatever. you're gonna see him go off to say that this fluid could be the fluid that carries the eggs. You see him go off into these place where he say is the fluid that carried the egg. But you will see that from the hadith, it is nothing about Muhammad didn't know nothing about no egg, nothing about ovum, ova, which is egg and eggs. Nothing about that, you know. What Muhammad was talking about is the discharge that comes from a woman's vagina during sex. Muhammad believed that that discharge have sexual genetic properties that contribute to the composition of a child. And you will see that with some other hadith that I will cite. So you see this first one, that Muhammad is saying that if the woman's discharge first, the baby will look like her, and if the man discharge first, the baby will look like the man. Which discharge is he talking about? Is he talking about some unseen discharge that is going on inside the body of the woman, or is he talking about vaginal discharge? We are going to show you that Muhammad is talking about vaginal discharge, and he is telling you that a child is created from this vaginal discharge. We'll show you some more of this, just to show you that Muhammad was not an easy person to deal with. So let's look at something here. Find the word. Okay. We're going to move from that one into another one, and we're going to show you something, and just open your mind and look and see if Muhammad knew nothing about nothing at all. Watch this. Narrated Salima. Salim came to Allah's apostle and said, verily, Allah is not shy of telling you the truth. Is it necessary for a woman to take a bath after she had a wet dream, nocturnal sexual discharge? So you see this, look at this. Nocturnal sexual discharge. Bear in mind, what is discharge at nocturnal? What is a wet dream? For a man, a wet dream is semen which involve which contain sperm. For a woman, what is a wet dream? What is the woman's wet dream? Does it contain any sperm? But according to Muhammad, Muhammad believed that the woman's wet dream contains sperm. Look, listen to this. The Prophet said, yes, if she noticed a discharge, Salima then covered her face and asked, O Allah Apostle, does a woman get a discharge? He said, yes. Let your right hand be in dust. What? An Arabic expression you say to a person when you contradict his statement. Meaning, you will not achieve goodness. Wow. And that is why the son resembles his mother. So Muhammad is saying to the woman, the reason the son resembles the mother is because a woman get a discharge. And what were they talking about? Wet dream. Wet dream they were talking about. So Muhammad believed that the woman's wet dream is the source of the child. So all this acrobatic thing about where the woman Muhammad believed the semen that it is that the Quran is saying that it is the fluid that carries the egg. No, that's Muhammad is the one who get these revelations. And if he don't understand the revelation that he gets, how is anybody else can claim they understand the revelation that he get? And Muhammad even making the speech that Gabriel is the one who tell him these things. And this is why I read the first one. This is why I read the first one, because Muhammad believed that Gabriel told him that a woman's discharge from her vagina contribute to the genetic composition of a child. And notice he says right here, wet dream, and then does a woman get discharged? Somebody asks him, does a woman get discharged? He said, yes, let your right hand be in dust. You will, and that is why the son resemble the mother. This is why the son resemble the mother. Because a woman get discharged, this is why the son resemble the mother. Do you see that? This is not the only place, if you look through these hadith, that you will see this kind of stuff. If you put the word child, you will see more. Okay, here it goes again. Another one. It was narrated from Salima that a woman said, O Messenger of Allah, Allah is not shy to tell you the truth. So it is the same story. Does a woman have to perform ghosh, which is a bath, if she had a wet dream? He said, yes. If she sees water, Salima laughed and said, do women really have wet dreams? Because she maybe never have one. The Messenger of Allah, PUB, said, how else would her child resemble her? Wow, what a beautiful. And Muhammad is saying that it is Gabriel who told him this story, that the wet dream of a woman is genetic, of genetic properties that contribute to the makeup of a child. What a beautiful prophet he is. What a beautiful prophet who lives in Arabia, killing dogs. Do you see this? That is if she has an emission, a fluid, or an organ. Do you see? He says emission of fluid. That means if she comes in other way, in other words. I hope no babies not watching. Babies are not watching this. No Aisha age kids are lower, not watching it. Watching it. This is for 18 and older. But look at it. Look what he says here. So Muhammad actually believed that when you look at what Ibn Abbas says about this fluid that comes from between the backbone and the ribs, he's saying that the male reproductive fluid come from between the backbone, and the female reproductive fluid come from between the ribs. So all this clownery and all this stuff that this guy is gonna say is useless, totally useless, because we know that a woman's vaginal discharge during sex does not come from between the ribs. It doesn't come from between the ribs. The ribs is way up there. Where is this have to do with the ribs? And if you're gonna say, oh, it comes from between, it still lies between the ribs because this lie this, that lie this. This is just showing you how illiterate this God was, because the God could have been more precise, you know, because he is, according to Zakir Naik, the manufacturer know more about the car than the the person who make the car, than the person who buy the car. The person who make the car know more than about the car than the person who buy the car. So why is it that this guy, God, is telling you about ribs when nothing sexual that came from a woman or from a man during sex have nothing to do with anything up by the ribs? So why couldn't he be more precise? Because Muhammad did not understand what he was talking about. He didn't have a clue what he was talking about. And he said that Gabriel told him this. That's what Muhammad said, that Jibril told him this. Jibril told him this. That's what Muhammad said, that Jibril told him. What a beautiful Muhammad. If you should even go further than this, the Muslim in the days of Muhammad believed that the woman's discharge is yellow. The woman's discharge during sex is yellow, and the man's discharge is white. If a woman's discharge is yellow, that's sexual transmitted disease. If her discharge during sex is yellow, it's a sexual transmitted disease. And I will show you that all this clownery from this clown and all this breakdown that this clown is going to go into, which I'm not even going to listen to that clown. But if you guys want to listen to the stupidity of that clown, you could go there and look and listen. But you will see that even with all this stuff, you will see what Muhammad believed. You will see what Muhammad believed. And it's not hard to find what Muhammad believed. They believe that they can lie to people in the West. And this is why we know that these people are dangerous people. And look, I'm going to show you how the modern translator of the Hadith, what they do. Let me show you something. Let me show you what they do, because they know what they do. They know what they said is stupid. What Muhammad said is stupid, so they're rewriting what Muhammad said. Let me show you something, guys. How people rewrite what Muhammad says. Watch this. Watch this right here. It's a long hadith, so we're going to find a portion where, okay, so right here, my brothers and sisters, because we are here to learn. We are not here to be deceived by no Muslim, because we know they are liars. And we're not here to be deceived by them. Okay. Notice from here, we're going to start reading from there. He then said, I have come to ask you about the child. The Holy Prophet says, the reproductive substance of a man is white, and that of a woman is, and notice what they do. They put a parenthesis in here, and they put ovum central portion, because they know Muhammad was an idiot, so they have to inject their own thoughts into it, the modern interpreter who translates it to English, because this is not what's there. This is all added. Because what we read before, we see where Muhammad says a woman discharge that she have at night, a wet dream, is a contribution to the genetic composition of a child. So we know when he's saying about discharge or reproductive substance, we know what he's talking about. The reproductive substance of a man is white, and that of a woman yellow. All this stuff is afterthoughts of the people who translate, because they realize it doesn't make any sense. And when they are sexually intercourse, listen to this. And when they have sexually intercourse and the male substance, notice what these clowns do? Put chromosome and genes. That's how what Muhammad was talking about. Muhammad was talking about the sperm, the semen prevails upon the female substance. The clowns have to put all this stuff in. because that's not in there. It is a male that is created by Allah. But you notice what Muhammad said, the one who ejaculate first. So prevail upon mean ejaculate first. Prevail upon means ejaculate first. Notice we are cutting down things. And Muhammad said to the Jewish man, if the mother ejaculate first, the child would resemble her. And if the father ejaculate first, then the child would resemble her. So when they translate these things to mean prevail upon the female's substance and put genes, chromosome, and genes in parentheses, they are just being deceptive. Muhammad was just talking about who ejaculate first. And what kind of ejaculation? Vaginal ejaculation. Vaginal ejaculation, because we see the hadith, 2 different hadith about what? Wet dream. Nobody ejaculate chromosome and genes during wet dream. Wet dream. No woman ejaculate chromosome and genes that contribute to the makeup of a child during wet dream. The man may ejaculate chromosome and genes, but the woman does not ejaculate any chromosome and gene during wet dream. So we see that these guys are lying. So when he says, when the substance of the female prevail upon the substance contributed by the male, he means that when the woman ejaculate first. That's what he means. That's what Muhammad really means. All these other things that you see come is just pure acrobatic. Because that's how Muhammad did not have that intelligence. He did not have that intelligence. We can show you again. Let's show you again from a different source what Muhammad really mean. Because we share information here. We don't make up nothing. We show exactly how the hadith correspond, and no one, I don't have to put chromosome in it, and I don't have to put genes in nowhere. I'm just showing you exactly like it is. Anas B. Malik reported that Salim narrated that she asked the messenger of Allah about a woman who sees in a dream what a man sees sexual dream, wet dream. So you see, the messenger of Allah, may peace be upon him. Oh man. I want to look up the word beam and see what it means. Bisexual man. You see, notice they're not together. You know, F for female, M for I don't know, man. They can't even, they make some typo in their stupidity because they plan to lie. Anyway, let's continue. In case a woman sees that, she must take a bath. Salim said, I was bashful at the account of that and said, does it happen? Upon this, the messenger of Allah said, yes, it does happen. Otherwise, how can a child resemble her? Do you see? Simple, 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 simple. And we don't need to add anything like the Muslim do. We just read and read what's supposed to be there. No, it says, man discharge, that is sperm. No, Muhammad didn't know nothing about no sperm. And you see where the milkshake, he says it's a protein shake. The protein, the protein shake says there is nothing called sperm in the Quran. And notice what, do you notice how deceptive these clowns are? Let me show you how deceptive these clowns are in even their hadith. The man's discharge, notice what it says here. Let's stop it where right here. The man's discharge, i.e. sperm, is thick. Sperm is not thick. So even the clown who wrote the hadith believe the sperm, the semen is the sperm. Labadi da da da, labadi ba da da da. Do you see the religion? The religion, this religion is not my religion. My religion I make with a great precision from the God of salvation. This religion could never be my religion. This religion is the religion of a madman running from cave Ira. That's Mutabaruka. Look at Mutabaruka. That's how his poetry is like that. This religion could never be my religion. My religion is the religion of the conquering lion. This religion could never be my religion. I would never make the decision to make this religion my religion. The religion, this religion is the religion of a madman. This religion is the religion of a man who attempted suicide many times, homicide. This religion is a man who commit genocide, who was poisoned with insect pesticide. Insecticide with goat meat curry. But listen what he says right here. Just to show you that they are clowner. They're just like Uthman ibn Farooq, lying clowns. But listen what he says. Man discharge, i.e. sperm. Notice this. Remember the first one we read where the clown tried to say that he was the part of the ova or something like that. But listen to this. They can't hide from the same Sunnah.com. Here it is. Man discharge, i.e. sperm, is thick and white, and the discharge of the woman is thin and yellow. And what was Salim asking about? What was she asking about? Sexual dream discharge, wet dream discharge. And Muhammad said it's thin and yellow. Yellow, yellow, that's not true, my fellow. Woman's discharge is not yellow. Yellow, yellow, not true, my fellow. If a woman's discharge is yellow, she gonna need penicillin, amoxicillin, augmentin. Augmentin got amoxicillin and some other antibiotic in it. He's gonna need penicillin, amoxicillin, ampicillin, or many more. He may need. If you got yellow discharge, so the resemblance come from the one who's, look, genes. Notice what they write here. Genes preserve are dominant. That's our lie. If you look at the real thing, there is nothing about no genes are dominant. They're lying. It's the one who ejaculate first. This is how lying they are. If you know Arabic, you know that this is a lie. This is a total lie. There is nothing about no genes. If the Quran said nothing about sperm, and if you notice what it says, sperm is thick. So how did they know about no genes and no genes? That's not what it says. That's not what it says. Anybody who speak Arabic and go to the real Arabic, he would not say nothing about that. About no genes and nothing. There was nothing known about genes in the days of Muhammad. It's a lie. Nothing, no. And then he says, because we know, how we know this? Because a wet dream A wet dream, sexual dream, does not have any genes that is dominant in sexual intercourse. Man, what a religion is this? What kind of religion is this? This religion could never be my religion. I would never make the decision to make this religion my religion. Because this religion come from the head of a madman. A madman, a madman. Muhammad was a madman, a very bad man. He was a madman, madder than Dennis Rodman. He was a madman. So, do you see what we are talking about, friends? And now if you should take any look at vaginal discharge, we know that when a woman just starts her period, there could be a slightly yellowish discharge when she just starts her period. You know, there could be a slightly yellowish discharge. But wet dream should never be yellow. Wet dream should never be yellow. If a woman have a yellow wet dream, that means a doctor should be seen and something need to be clean. But she could never have a yellow red dream and be clean. So we have this hadith right here. Aisha was narrating this hadith, and I will show you this hadith. I don't know what it really means, but I just want to show you guys because it's kind of funny. Aisha seems like she taught everything. She have no secret. Aisha have no secret, man. That's why you know that marrying to a child is wrong. Because Aisha have no secret. There is no secret that Aisha can keep. She's the one who revealed that Muhammad was creeping out while she's asleep. Yes. You remember when Muhammad creeped out of bed while Aisha was asleep? Aisha can't keep no secret, man. Narrated Aisha, one of the wife of Allah Messenger, joined him in whatever this is. Lutikov, whatever that is. I don't know how to pronounce this word right here. And she noticed blood and yellow discharge from her private part. This I could see. She may be on her period, just starting her period, so there's a yellow discharge, or she could be having a sexual transmitted disease, because sometimes with sexual transmitted disease there come blood and yellow discharge. It could be anyone. I don't know why Aisha. Even though they say menstrual period here, we don't know what really Aisha is trying to, why Aisha have to be telling these stories from her private part and put a dish under her when she prayed. Oh my God. Aisha, you something else, girl. Aisha, you have a lot of questions to answer to Jesus. I don't know about this Aisha, man. Aisha, something is wrong with Aisha. Hey, please tell me what is wrong with Aisha, because something is wrong with Aisha. Aisha acting like Ghetto Keisha. Aisha, what is wrong with Aisha? Why is she acting like Ghetto Keisha? And the girl called Lakeisha, and the one called Misha. She's acting... Anyway, let's show you some medical things to show you that, you know, I'm a nurse, so I know a little of these things, and we're going to show you some medical things just to show you that a woman should not have a yellow discharge in a night dream. In a night dream, Holy Prophet equals shirk. Yeah, you're right. In a night dream, which is a wet dream, a woman should not have a yellow discharge. Let me show you. Okay, so this is medical news today. And even if you had gone to places like the Cleveland Clinic or some other places, they would have tell you the same thing. So what he says, a color code guide to vaginal discharge. Just to show you that something was going on in Medina, man. Maybe they drink too much camel urine, and the camel urine, because it's kind of yellow. I don't know. I don't know. It is common to wonder whether the color of or consistency of vaginal discharge is normal or needs to be checked out. Vaginal discharge can be many colors, and several indicate a healthy body. Do you notice what it says? Several indicate a healthy body. In this article, we provide a color code guide to vaginal discharge. Learn what color mean and when to see a doctor. So learn what the color mean. Hey, learn if the color clean. Hey, when you have in your, you know what that is. Wet, you say the word. Then you join, you help me make the song. And this song is gonna be #1 on the Billboard. Vaginal discharge is fluid secrete from tiny glands in the vagina and cervix. Do you notice where the vaginal discharge come from? Not from the rib cage. Wow. Let us call Dr. Mohammed. Hey, Dr. Mohammed. I'm just reading a medical news today, and it says the vaginal discharge come from the vagina and the cervix, but you claim it came from the rib cage. What's going on, Dr. Mohammed? Gabriel just told me that. Vaginal discharge. So this fluid leaks from the vagina each day to remove all cells and debris. Okay, so there is this kind of vaginal discharge, keeping the vagina and reproductive tract clean and healthy. Okay, the amount of vaginal discharge can vary significantly from person to person. The color, consistency, and amount can also change from day to day depending on where a person is in their menstrual cycle. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Are you acting like an idiot? At the beginning of the cycle, discharge is usually red or bloody as the body shed the uterine lining. During 6 days following a period, a person may notice less vaginal discharge than usual, and the eggs start to develop and mature. The cervical mucus will become cloudy and white or yellow. It may feel sticky. So Muhammad was at the mosque with his wife, and the wife have blood and yellow discharge coming from her private part. Was it day 6, day 14? What was going on? I don't know. But anyway, a few days before ovulation, the mucus may be really thin and slippery, similar to the consistency of an egg white. After ovulation, the mucus will go back to being cloudy, white or yellow, and possibly sticky or tacky. Look at it. The cervical mucosa will lighten, and the person will see less of it before getting another period. So, but Muhammad is saying that the discharge from the woman, so this is all about period. Now let's share you something that's not dealing with period. We're going to share you something else that's not dealing with the period. It's dealing with what vaginal fluid look like, regular vaginal fluid, not about period or anything. So let's look at that, because we know white vaginal discharge during sexual intercourse. So it's a white vaginal discharge during sexual intercourse. It is normal. It's normal for a woman to have a white vaginal discharge, not cheesy or curdy or like cottage cheese, but because cottage cheese type is showing that there's an infection going on, like a fungal infection, yeast infection. But a white creamy white, that's okay. Vaginal discharge during penile vaginal penetration is usually expected. Sexual excitement is a common cause of white discharge. So you see, so it's okay to have a white discharge as long as it is not cottage cheese-like or that kind of curdy. As long as it's not curdy, if I'm using the right word, curdy, then it's okay. Because if it's curdy, then you know that it could be a fungal infection that's going on, and yeast infection. Not like oh, you have this and this. It's most of the time it's a yeast infection that can be easily treated. So normally vaginal discharge is clear or milky white. Normally vaginal discharge is clear or milky white. But what did Muhammad say? What did Dr. Muhammad say? It is a yellow fellow. Muhammad is so yellow, chicken yellow. He was not a good fellow. Hey, see Muhammad riding on a camel. And what do you think? What kind of beer do you think he drink? Do you think he drink water from the sink? No. Camel urine he drink? Yes. His camel urine smell stink? Yes. The fluid cleans, protect, and lubricate the vagina. So do you see what this kind of discharge is? Is just a protection discharge and a lubrication discharge. That's what it is. That is the greatness of the real God. You know, not that it is of genetic composition, genetic properties that help to give birth to a child. Muhammad was a liar. When you have sexual arousal, this discharge is more noticeable because it is thickened and increases. But you don't see, you will never see. If you look, if you put the word yellow here, if you search for the word yellow, guess what you're gonna see? Yellow, yellow. Hey, now my fellow. I don't think the word yellow is evil, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Watch this, people. I'm a better doctor than Allah. I'm a medical doctor, even though I'm a nurse. Chlamydia, which may cause yellow white discharge, vaginal bleeding. Do you see what I said? Remember that Muhammad's wife have a yellow discharge with vaginal bleeding. I don't lie, people. Chlamydia, which may cause yellow white discharge, vaginal bleeding between periods, and painful urination. Sometimes chlamydia has no symptoms. Trichomoniasis, which cause a fishy discharge that may be white, clear, green, or yellow. Do you see what happened, fellow? Muhammad's wife got a discharge that's yellow. What's wrong with Aisha's mouth? Why she let the secret out? Aisha, gonorrhea. You see all these things? So you see, and what you need? These STD are treated with antibiotic. So I don't know why Muhammad's women have yellow discharge. Yellow. Muhammad was so yellow that every time he see discharge, his eye. Muhammad maybe have what they call that thing? Jaundice. And his eyes were yellow. So when he see things, they're yellow. So let me go back and show you that Muhammad says that the discharge of a woman is yellow. Muhammad said the discharge of a woman is yellow, man. Can you imagine? Muhammad was so beautiful guy. So beautiful guy. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Muhammad was such a beautiful guy. Oh, yeah. Such a beautiful, beautiful liar. Anyway, my people, I'm going to show you this last, just to show you that Muhammad say, discharge is yellow, because we just got to support things that we say. Notice what he says here. And the woman is thin and yellow. The woman's discharge is thin and yellow. Thin and yellow. Thin and yellow. I don't know why your discharge is thin and yellow. Unless you have too much ammonia in your blood. I don't know. Anyway, my people, I want to say God bless you, man. And thank you for subscribing to my channel, man. You know, and I will have more content as God allow. You know, I work, so sometimes I don't get the chance to give content on frequent, and I travel. I also travel because this is something that I like to do, take road trips and stuff like that. So sometimes, so on the 16th, I'll be gone on the 16th, and I don't come back until, I don't know, what day is that? I know I'll be gone for 4 days. You know, I need to get me a laptop so I could take with me and still make video, but I haven't got one yet. So I'm going to work on that, get a laptop and a different microphone from the one that I have, because this one is heavy, you know, and I'm not going to travel with this heavy microphone. So get us like a small, something flat, can be right on where I'm talking on the surface, it's be right there. And while I'm traveling, I'll be making videos. And, you know, if I, you know, travel and I could witness to a Muslim, you know, I would talk to Muslim and record, you know, if my wife is not scared of them because of their activities in the world today. She know their activities, so I don't think she will be the one recording. But, you know, I have a cousin who travel with us most of the time, and he ain't scared of nobody. So I will see, you know, what we can do. So anyway, and I ain't scared of nobody either. I'm not saying you can't kill me, but I ain't scared of you. But let's see what's going on. So I want to say, man, our praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Islam is nothing but stupidity and nonsense. And I want to say, hey, I see some new faces. I see Lola, is it Minnie? Thank you for being here. So Lolo, Minnie, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but thank you for being here. I see Bigu Alien, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. The regular Crunchy Crystal Rock. I see my brother, Great Commission. I see Dragon, who is always here. You know, thank you, man. Thank you guys for being here, man. And I see my sister. I'm gonna mess up her name. I know that. Latia Shed, you're here, always here. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys, man. And when you go out there, man, keep it Jesus, man. Keep it 100% Jesus. And I have a brother here. His name is you. I can't remember his. And I see Nick Bryan was here. Thank you for being here, man. God bless you. And whoever is not in the chat that I didn't mention, whoever watched but did not comment, I thank you guys, man. I will be talking to myself, so I have a lot of respect for you. I see Adnan. I didn't even see this guy. He said Islam is the truth. It's like saying a spider is a crab. That's like telling us that a spider is a crab. Islam is the truth. The truth of what? There's different kind of truth, man. Islam is the truth. Wow. After all that we have said, Islam is the truth. Islam is the truth, and you're lying when you say Christian believe in three gods, and you laugh like an idiot. You know what? Let me show you something that the book of Proverbs says about a laughing idiot that love to laugh when they say stupidity. When you speak stupidity, you laugh. Where did you ever see Christians saying that they have three gods? That's what your genie God believe, that Christians have three gods. And tomorrow, we're gonna touch on the Trinity tomorrow and actually show you that in Islam, a man is actually binitarian. A human being in Islam is binitarian. When if you look up the word binitarian, it actually literally means that a human being is two living being, a living person in one, according to Islam. But when you ask them if God can be three persons that make the one God, guess what they will tell you? No, it's impossible. But we will see that according to the clownery of Islam, we will see that a man, a human being, is actually two different living entities, separate from themselves. Separate. One human being is two living entity. And we'll go over that. We'll talk a little bit about the Trinity. So come on out and support. And oh, I didn't even see that this clown was here. This clown was here too. This clown was here. Wow. When did he come on? And thank you, brother. There's a brother here. Or I think it's a brother or a sister, I don't know. And then we have, and Kim Kurbitz, she was here. If I pronounce her last name right, thank you for coming out and watch the Jamaican. And we have another person here, Mosfat. And there were some people who come out, and we have Happy Frenzy always out. Thank you, Happy Frenzy, for being here. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And in the house, it was out. Thank you for being here. So I've seen a lot of people. We have Jib, and this is the brother I was talking about, Don Yu. So we have a lot of people coming out today, more than we have seen in the past. So God bless you all, man. And I'm going to run off to work to take care of the people who can't take care of themselves. You know, in my profession, I take care of people who cannot take care of themselves. I'm a nurse, so I'm going to run real fast. I'm going to quickly take a bath and literally run out of this house to go take care of the people who can't take care of themselves. So take care of yourself and keep it Jesus. And remember, stay away from Islam.